Hey everyone, this is Rob,
Hey, Michelle.
and welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast on everything you need to know about old school RuneScape.
Meet Mer.
Mer- All right, so this week up on the docket, we're going to be starting off with a bit of Deadman, which is going to be
More Deadman.
releasing later this week
Yeah, on Friday.
on Friday. So hopefully it'll be really nice this time around. Not DDoSing, I'm
Oh, the
sure.
finale. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. We'll see. We'll see how that
surely.
goes.
If anyone is wondering, the Deadman Worlds will be closing on the 15th, just so everyone knows, and the finale will start on the 16th. So make sure to,
Oh, of next month.
yeah, of next month,
Okay.
because that has already passed.
Yeah,
So
that's why I was confused. I was like, what?
yeah, so if anyone is wondering, if you are making plans, make sure to watch the finale on the 16th. I again am hoping it'll be a lot better than last time because last
Yeah.
time was a little sad.
Yes, I would
Any,
agree.
anyways, though, we'll be going right from Deadman Apocalypse into
The
the
big
Summer
news.
Summit.
Woo!
Big news. So a lot of stuff was revealed.
Not as much as we thought, which
Yeah,
we'll talk about.
more and less than we thought.
Mm-hmm.
And so
But
a
still
lot
cool
of
stuff.
really exciting stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll be going over that as well, which is
Hmm.
probably going to take a long time. I suspect this will be a little longer of an
Yeah,
episode.
we'll see. There's a lot of things we have open right now.
Yeah. And then we'll try to finish off with our Q&A as per usual. And of course, as always, if you want to participate in the Q&A, feel free to ask us questions anywhere, Spotify, Twitter.
Any social media, which we list in the outro and in our episode description.
Yeah. Or best place would be our Discord, discord.gg/boonbape. Feel
Hmm.
free to ask us questions in the question section in general. Really doesn't matter. Just let us know
Yeah,
that you want it for the podcast.
perfect.
But before we get into any of that exciting news, Michelle, how's it going?
It's going well. I have not gotten a single purple or level this week, I don't think.
Massive.
But despite that, it's still going well. Because if you guys remember, if you listened last week, I had a sponsorship with Marvel First Strike. The sponsorship went really, really well. It was the goals were like to get to level 5, then 10, then 20. We like beat the 25 goal for level 5, the max I could get. It was really dope.
Nice.
But I was letting everyone like choose bosses and stuff for me to do whenever they got to level 5 and 10 and 20. I was supposed to do a bond giveaway with every 20, but we ended up having like 16 people do it, and I'm like, I actually don't have enough gold. So I
Yeah.
like talked to stream and I was
So
like,
you're a
can I just give
liar.
away 5? Yeah, yeah, basically. Next time
Nice.
I'm gonna set a cap. I didn't think I'd have this much people do it.
Yeah.
But because of everyone choosing bosses and stuff, I've the past like week I've just been doing like a huge variety of stuff. It's been a lot of fun. I have like a content wheel right now that I've just been spinning every stream, and it has all kinds of stuff. Like Mole's on here like 3 times, Nex is on here a couple times, Moospa, Tempe, Corp, just all kinds of stuff. I went and did like some of the newer bosses, which were fun. It sucks that I haven't gotten like a single collection log slot or like
Or
anything
anything
crazy.
actually,
I did get
apparently.
an Awakener's orb somewhere. I don't remember. That was
Huge.
like 2 mil or
That was like
something.
100 mil.
That's about the most I made this week.
Yeah.
To get one person, Lato, to do it, I'm a classic worst overseller salesperson in the world.
Yeah.
So Lato was like, "Oh, if I get to level 20, will you do like tobs all day?" And I could have been like, "Yeah, I'll do like 4 tobs." My silly billioness was like, "Yeah, I'll do top all stream." I'm like, "Why?" It wasn't even Lato's idea. It
Yeah.
was my own idea. So now I'm spending all tonight doing top. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully tomorrow, when we're recording the second half, I'll have gotten a purple or something.
Well, you really only have to do it whenever they're on.
Lato said that he's gonna set an alarm for the beginning of the stream, and I was like, I still
Eh,
have to farm first.
yeah.
It's all top except for my farmer in the beginning because I've hit 80 mil farming now without the pet still.
Nice.
So I always begin out the streams with my farming runs
Only 120 mil more.
until it's just a better drop rate, not guaranteed.
Well, it's pretty much guaranteed.
But yeah, I've had a lot of fun doing all the different content. It's been really cool. And yeah, if you want to see the content wheel, twitch.tv/boonbabe, come stop by because I
Yeah,
will be working on
stop
that
by.
for several days more
Check it
probably.
out. Yeah, it's usually pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's all I've been up to. That and then playing the Marvel game, which is pretty chill.
That's cool.
Yeah. What about you?
Surprise, surprise. No RuneScape for me.
What?
So haven't played in a couple weeks now. Not really planning to. Just as per
You've been
usual.
into Path of Exile, right?
Yeah, busier than ever. And then whenever I have free time, I have been playing Path of Exile. New League came out. Don't ask me how it's going because I haven't played any of the new League mechanic, which
Mm-hmm.
is something Trial of the Ancestors, something like
It's
that. I don't know.
basically like Leagues isn't real for him and he's just playing regular.
Yeah, I'm just playing regular, playing Lightning Arrow, Deadeye. If anyone knows what that means,
Someone listening's like, oh my god.
yeah. And by oh my god, they're just like, oh okay.
Oh, it's not that crazy.
No, not at
Okay,
all.
never mind then.
No, it's just a build. So you
It
just
just sounds
you shoot
crazy.
arrows and lightning comes down from the sky. So
Oh, it's kind of dope.
yeah, it's pretty cool looking, but yeah, generally pretty standard. I think it's probably the most popular build in the entire league, so it's not
Oh,
unique by any means, but it is cool nonetheless.
nice.
Besides that though, I haven't played anything else, so not really much to go
You have a
over.
real life update.
Do I?
Yeah, he got his first certificate for IT.
Oh, yeah. So I passed the Comp TIA A plus certification. Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah, pretty easy. Would recommend getting it if
Just me
you
for fun.
need it, I guess. I mean, generally everyone should get it because it's stuff that you should probably know as just a human in the 21st
Yeah, I'll
century.
probably just get scammed.
Um, get scammed. I don't know
I
how,
don't
but
know.
yeah.
I don't even know what it teaches
Yeah,
you.
because she would trade. She's like, "Oh, cool. So I get to study for the test, $1 million. Cool, 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 cool."
Good deal.
I don't know how you
That's a
get.
good deal, right?
I don't know how you'd get scammed. But anyways, we can probably just move on to Deadman since we do have a lot to go over.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
As you can expect, there's going to be a ton of content for this, but we have already gone over a lot of it.
Yeah, they don't do the whole gist of it here, just some of it. Because last week we did do the everything you need to know if you want to hear like super, super detailed. Go listen to last week's episode.
Yeah, and Michelle's video is still fairly up to date. So
Yeah,
if
it's
you
still fairly
want a
relevant.
longer form video that explains more, then she has that as well over
Mm-hmm.
on the YouTube channel.
Not 100% accurate anymore because I made that the day after the poll or the blog came out in the first place.
Yeah. Either way, most of the mechanics are going to be the same. And so, like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, you are going to have 3 weeks in order to make progress until the servers actually close on September 15th on a Friday.
Yep.
So make sure to get all of your progress in before that because unless you're going to be in the finale, then that's going to be the end
I
of it
mean,
for you.
anyone can be in the finale this time though, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, anyone can be in the finale if you. Well, that's how it was before as well. You just had to get
No, it's
to.
the top 2,000 last time.
Well, yeah, but anyone could be in the top 2,000.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are going to want to log out if they're going to merge their characters afterwards because they're not going to want to risk their gear in the finale.
Yeah. So, yeah, either way, you do have a chance at it. So,
Mhm.
I guess if you plan on participating, then make sure you have everything set and ready before the end of the 15th, or you'll be sad.
Yeah.
So, all the information for Deadman Apocalypse can be found in this news post. And of course, it will be linked below for anyone looking for it, or you could just go over to
Yeah.
the OSRS news page.
It's basically what we were just talking about, how we talked about last week.
Yeah. And what's new? So, a lot of people are still unsure what's new, but if you are, then we can give you a quick rundown. So, Deadman Apocalypse is going to be the new challenge. It's going to introduce something called breaches. So, breaches are going to open 3 times a day and essentially just spit out a bunch of extremely powerful monsters,
But not Jad.
but not Jad or Zuck,
Damn,
unfortunately.
scam.
So this is going to include things like General Garage Door and Krill Sutzeroth, to name a couple.
God, it better be for real and they're not just using random examples again.
I think this
They're the
has
ones
to
who
be
said
real.
Jad. So that's why I'm stuck on the Jad thing.
Yeah, I don't know how like T-bows are going to drop or Tumakin Shadows are going to drop because I'm pretty sure those are drops, but
Yeah, they're probably just coming from random breaches.
yeah, I guess that'll just, well, I mean, like it's not gonna like they're gonna drop a like a guardian out of,
Oh,
you know.
it'll be very interesting.
So
to
maybe
see.
it'll just come from any boss, who knows.
I'm guessing any boss.
Yeah, either way, that'll happen 3 times a day, and if you're tough enough to take them on, then you can be rewarded with some really nice loot. Like we just mentioned, you can get corrupted weaponry from only these bosses, from what I understand, only from breaches.
Yeah.
These pieces of equipment are weaker versions of the familiar gear. So, like we said, corrupted things like the corrupted Tunic and Shadow, as well as corrupted, I'm guessing, god swords of some kind.
I think it was Tebow Dragon Claws Shadow. We listed it last week, but I don't remember the exact ones.
Okay, yeah. So there's going to be quite a few things to select from, and these are not going to carry over to the permanent 345 world, so don't worry about that. And they also have a point-based system for anyone wondering how you get onto the high score page. and you'll be part of the total prize pool of $25,000 if you do get enough points and
Yeah.
make it far enough.
Yeah, you don't even have to be like the top 10 ranked person. They're just like choosing randomly based on your tiers.
Yeah, so you do have to make it into at least adamant.
Yeah, but if you make entitlement, there's a chance you could win like $500, I think it is
Yeah,
per person.
500
Yeah.
buckaroos. Yep, so pretty good amount of money.
So, permanent DMM, World 345, and merging. If you have an account with permanent Deadman Progress, you will not be able to use the same account in Deadman Apocalypse unless you remove all of your stats, gear, and progression.
Yeah.
So, you cannot go in with like your fully equipped maxed account.
Unfortunately, you're gonna have to essentially reset your account.
Yeah. And they make it like kind of annoying to reset it so then no one will complain, but I'm sure someone will complain about resetting it. You have to like go and talk to this person, confirm, put a bank pin, everything. But if you're especially attached to your permanent Deadman Progress, you will need to use another account to participate in the apocalypse. If you plan to undergo the transfer process to World 345, you can do so after today's update. And the update came out, I think it was last night actually. I think
Yeah.
it like is today.
Yeah.
Please note that leaving Lumbridge will cancel the transfer process. Instead, you'll need to opt into the process, then log into Deadman Apocalypse when it launches to confirm your decision. So it seems like you just can't log in for the next 2 days.
Yeah, so
whatever.
essentially just do your best to only log in the account once you plan on joining Deadman Apocalypse.
Exactly. If you decide to merge back into World 345 early, you will also need to speak to Nigel, who you talked to in the first place. But be aware that doing this will cause you to lose your Deadman Apocalypse progress. We highly recommend waiting until the end of the event, at which point your profile and all your progress will automatically be transferred back to World 345. So if you leave early, you have no chance of winning any money.
Yep.
Yeah, it's better to just stay logged out for a few days if you really are over it.
Yeah, exactly. And for anyone wondering, they do have some clarifications on points following a few discussions in the PvP Discord about the DMM. So this is courtesy of Mod Manked. If you accidentally skip a bracket by gaining too much XP from a quest, for example, like a million levels from something
Like
that
Waterfall Quest or something?
yeah, like Waterfall Quest, you will miss out on the protection offered by the skipped bracket. So you won't double up and get 2 hours of protection. It'll still just be the one.
Makes sense.
However, when logging into the next bracket, you will receive all the core quests from the skipped bracket. So you won't be skipping any of the goodies except for the protection.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you want to make the usual quest choices by talking to a combat tutor in Lumbridge, so make sure you do that from the skipped bracket.
Cool.
Lava Dragon Bones are not included in the double Dragon Bones system, so no cheesing it on the Lava Dragon Isle.
Yes.
Elite Void equipment will only require 42 hit points, attack, defense, strength, magic, range, and prayer.
22 prayer.
22 prayer, sorry. And Desert Treasure is not auto unlocked by the Majorat option in the final bracket, so you will have to do Desert Treasure.
I thought that I would just go to TOA and try to make money, and I'm like, guess I'm not gonna go TOA because I'm not doing that quest.
Guess not. Ancient Warrior armor will not appear in Deadman Apocalypse, so no, yeah, I don't know why anyone would think that, but yeah, that's not happening. The Mega Man has 2 tunnels will offer supply drops 50% less often. This includes tier 5 emblems and sigils, so no easy money.
Mm-hmm.
You'll not be able to gain points during the finale, so your final accumulation ends when the servers close on September 15th and will not continue into the finals on the 16th. So, like I said, make sure you have your stuff situated before you log off on the 15th.
Cool.
If a player is in combat with a single way breach monster, no other players can attack that player during the fight. It'll be you and the monster. However, if multiple players are attacking the breach monster, anyone not in combat with the monster can be attacked by other players.
So don't just stand around.
Yeah, so you actually have to fight the monster. Although you can obtain thieving XP in safe zones, you will not receive loot. So
That's
you can
nice.
get a bajillion XP, but don't expect any goodies for your hard work. XP can still be locked by speaking to Nigel in Lumbridge if you don't want to go up a bracket for whatever reason. Drop rates for all defenders, regardless of bracket, will be 4 times as common.
That's really nice.
And prayer is considered a combat skill in Deadman Apocalypse, as it was in Reborn. So any multipliers that apply to combat will apply to that. So not the 15 times.
Nice.
Prayer is considered
Oh.
okay. In case you forgot, prayer is considered a combat skill.
Let's read it one more
Uh,
time just in case.
Starter sigils are the same as they are in Deadman Reborn. So if you already had a strategy going from there last season, this will be probably the same strategy.
Yeah.
However, no sigils, including the starter sigils, will offer additional XP multipliers. So
Strictly brackets.
yeah, because I think before there were sigils that straight up doubled your skill XP.
Oh my god.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
And loot from the breach monsters will be as follows. So you'll have the MVP, player with the most damage, will have a chance to get a unique drop. The non-MVPs, which are going to be the top 15 players that have dealt damage, will get regular breach loot. And what's that? Do a breach and you'll find out. So they're not giving
Rune
us
plate
any
bodies, probably.
spoilers, probably. Yeah. Players who did damage to the breach monster, but not enough to be in the top 15, will not receive loot. Will not receive loot or points. So you better deal damage. Seems like you better be in like the fairly high end of the bracket.
Yeah, I feel like I don't understand how this is not going to get farmed by like clans later.
Yeah.
Like how anyone other than them will get, because they'll all just be getting the top amount.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be group oriented. I think you
Mhm.
are definitely not obviously impossible, but you are certainly at a severe disadvantage
yeah.
if you are a solo exclusive player. Because well, I mean, there's not going to be any trading or anything like that, but you will be having to do content by yourself.
Can you not trade in this one? I couldn't remember.
Oh, actually, now that I think about
I think that they have
it,
the GE.
no, you're right. You're
Yeah,
right. You
you can
can
trade.
trade. Yeah, so that's even
So
that,
they could just trade each other if they're
that makes it even more. I was thinking
clan.
about leagues.
Oh
So
yeah, that's
yeah,
iron.
so you actually so it's even worse or
Mhm.
better depending on who you are. So
True.
this is gonna be very very good for groups and
If you're solo, come with a plan.
yeah, maybe find some friends if you're solo.
Latest changes. So in Deadman Apocalypse, certain CA tasks require instances. As we've disabled the ability to use instances for some bosses, these achievements are not necessary to complete the tier. So they go on to say a list of combat achievement tasks that can be safely ignored. I'm not going to read them all because no one's going to know what they are based on their names.
Just anything that would require an instance is not on the list for combat achievements anymore.
Yeah, mostly it's just Kraken ones that I've done, but it's all the way from hard task to Grandmaster task.
A lot of Grandmaster tasks.
Yeah. This change will slightly alter the points available from the corresponding combat achievement tier boss completion. That is all for Deadman for now. We look forward to watching the carnage begin this weekend.
Yeah, and in case you're wondering why that was so short, like we said, that wasn't all of it. If you want all of it, I'd check out last week's episode or the news post or
they go over everything in detail.
Yeah, or Michelle's YouTube video.
Yes.
Because yeah, that's not everything. That was just the changes.
But before we move into the Summer Summit, there actually was some other small updates this week. So the music track Box of Delights has had its instrument balance adjusted slightly. Log baskets no longer let you keep chopping logs to the full inventory on free-to-play worlds. This one is very interesting, actually.
This is a big deal.
Random events with costume rewards would commonly give you 500 coins to a player who already had the full outfit. They now are going to give XP lamps instead of those coins. The lamps are identical to a genie's lamp, giving 10 times your level in that skill. The Quizmaster's Mystery Box and Prison Pete may be given such lamps instead of coins too. I like that, actually. I wonder if some people are going to complain.
No, that's a really big deal for certain account types. So, I mean, if you have the full mime, beekeeper, stuff like that.
Yeah, usually you just ignore it.
Yeah, usually you'd ignore it, or, I mean, do it, I guess, if you wanted multiple, but...
Yeah, there was no incentive, and now there's actually an incentive.
Yeah, so this is actually really big. I mean, you're not going to get a ton of XP, but it is... a good amount. It's the same as a genie lamp, which some people, rely on in certain accounts to like get up things like
like no combat but Slayer.
Yeah, exactly, Slayer accounts. So yeah, that's actually a really big deal.
Purdue and the Emblem Trader normally found at Edgeville have decided to relocate. You can now find them on the north side of the GE. That is actually it for the updates. They did give us a little bit of update in the Poll 80 quality of life blog before we get into the Summer Summit.
Yeah, so this is the blog that they said they're going to have every month.
4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, so
It's been 83 years.
Every other month they were supposed to have a poll for quality of life stuff, which I think they kept to for 3 months.
It's just, you can't give specific amounts of time like that because it never works out.
Funny enough, in tandem with this, they've also kind of stopped doing the Gazette.
Yep.
So that's another thing they said they do every month. But anyways,
It's hard to commit to doing stuff every month or specific times. You just be like, we'll do it when we do it.
yeah, I wonder how they decide that. They're like, oh man, I just gotta sign this big thing. But I and then the worker's like, oh, but I'm like working on
The Gazette.
the Gazette, and they're like, oh, who cares? Like, what do you think they do?
I bet that there's like one person or a few people who every once in a while bring it up and they're like, hey guys, what are we gonna do the Gazette? They're shut down.
And they're like, no, 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 we're way too busy for that.
Then Maud Ash beats him up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just straight choke slams them.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, behind the scenes, we've been hard at work preparing for the summer summit. We hope you enjoy the show.
Enjoyed. Which we
Now,
watched that, by the way. It was nice.
we did. It was nice. They did it at 8 o'clock at night in the UK, so we were actually able to watch it at a normal time.
Yeah.
Now we finally revealed our biggest upcoming content for the next year. It's time to talk quality of life. Usually we run a survey to decide the most important changes to prioritize. Unfortunately, with all hands on deck for the Summer Summit, we didn't find time to do this for Poll 80. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
However, last week you made it clear that the 2 basket changes are particularly important to you, so we'll make that our first priority, starting with the path of Apmekin. I don't even know how you say that.
Ampikin. Apmikin.
Yeah,
I thought it was
exactly.
amp this entire time.
Nope, Apmekin.
600 KC later.
Apmekin changes. Even entering it's the monkey path.
Mm.
Even better, you should see these in next week's game update, provided that testing goes off without a hitch. So probably never. Thanks for your patience as we work on getting Poll 80 out to you. So tell us, what changes are you next excited for? It's been so
the
long.
Akka orb phase.
I don't even
Please.
I don't even remember what was on there.
To be honest, yeah.
That was so long ago.
And then they go and announce the plushies, which we already talked about. They have the Wise Old Man, Gnome Child, Neep, and Bob the Cat. These plushies are now on sale. They're available on pre-order until September 20th, and they will be limited edition from Makeship. So if you want these, go and order them right now.
They will never make them again. And pretty cool.
We
and
try to win them like every time and didn't.
We did. We
They're
very
so
much
cute.
tried to win. Unfortunate though, they did have a little giveaway for these during the live stream that we did not win, but
Yeah.
we tried.
Oh well.
Anyways, if you are a winner, and I don't know how, but if you don't know if you won or not, they do have a list of all the people that won, so you can check that
Yeah,
out.
they're gonna be reaching on the next couple of days, which is kind of funny. If you won, and you could have just been like, "Wait, are you never gonna contact me?"
Yeah. Anyways, though, we can end off by saying it's a one defense pure type of week for PvP arenas.
Cool.
And that's about it for Deadman
And the update.
the update, which was really 5 lines.
Yeah, but we have way more exciting stuff coming up with the Summer Summit. I was actually very excited because I wake up at like noon. So I woke up at noon and looked at my phone and I saw the Summer Summit had been happening for like, I don't know. I think it started. Oh yeah, it started at 12 p.m. So I like got Robert to come into the room and we were just like both watching it. Then we were both watching on our computers and commentating at each other. It was really fun.
So the roadmap, like we kind of jokingly teased about last week, did have what is that? 5 + 4, 9 things on it.
Let's talk about it.
Really 8 because Deadman we already saw was revealed.
Well, really 7 because Forestry was revealed.
Yeah, really 6 because the Halloween event we have every year.
Really 5 because the Christmas event every year.
Oh, true.
So we have 5 items.
Yeah, so we have 5 actual items. And let's be honest, we definitely knew one of them was
leagues. But
yeah.
I'll take the leagues. I'll take that. I'll take the
Yeah.
one there. But we'll go over the roadmap a little bit. So if you're like, what are they doing? Why are they mathing right now?
Yeah, so in August, we are going to have Deadman Apocalypse, obviously.
Which shouldn't be a question mark because we already knew.
Yes. And then we have 4 larger patches happening in quote unquote autumn.
Yeah, whatever months those are.
So that is going to be some Xeric changes.
Chambers is there.
These
yeah.
Xeric chambers changes.
Changes.
These are the ones that make it a lot easier for you to scale as well as predict the rooms that you're going to get.
Yeah, I read the blog and it's actually pretty cool.
Then we have the Path of Glawfrey, which is a new quest.
An old quest being added to the game.
New old quest.
Yeah.
And then we have Forestry,
which we knew about.
Yet again, which we knew about. And the Halloween event, which
happens every year.
We knew about.
It just... I'll wait till after we're all done.
Yes.
Anyway, winter of 2023, one of the biggest things that was announced, one of the 2 big things that we didn't know about was Leagues is coming back. And it's gonna be in winter, so that's actually pretty cool.
Leagues 4, Trailblazer Reloaded.
Yeah, we're gonna get more into detail about it, so I won't talk about it too much. Just it is Trailblazer 2.0. That's all you need to know so far.
Reloaded.
Reloaded. Other than that, they also have the Christmas event on here, which is happens every year.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, and then another cool one is a mid-level PBM update. So like a
Which is
mid-level
something
boss.
we've talked about months
Well,
and months ago.
I think years. We've probably talked about this since we started the
Yeah,
podcast.
probably. But
Yeah.
they have also noticed that there's nothing to do in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
So they're planning on updating it.
Yeah, and then the last big thing, did you want to say what it is?
Yes. So the last big thing was quite a surprise to a lot of people. A lot of people were convinced that they would never do something like this
It's very cool.
because it was community inspired,
Yeah.
being the newest expansion to old school RuneScape being Varlamore.
Yeah, like an expansion on the continent.
Yes, continental expansion. This is the island that is going to be south of Corinne,
Hmm.
and it is going to be not nearly as large as Corinne, but still fairly large, from
Yeah.
what I understand.
I don't know if I've been in the game long enough to have like an expansion of this size yet.
Yes.
Because we got like TOA and like the Necropolis or however you say it, but like that wasn't as big as this.
No, this is going to
It's
contain
cool.
quite a few things, including things like bosses, new hunting guild, as well as
Yeah.
areas for all kinds of skilling. And we'll get into it more, but they're for the first time ever going to be coming out with 3 quests in one update to fulfill the beginning of the
Yeah.
Varlamore quest lines.
Which I think is really smart. So then you're immediately making sure everyone's there for a while exploring a lot.
Yes.
I thought that was a good call.
They were smart in keeping the date of this very vague, saying early 2024. So they have approximately what, like 8 months to get this done
If
for
it's
it
done in
to.
April, is that early?
I mean,
I
still
guess.
technically, as long as it's not late, it's early.
Yeah.
So,
What a fun way to think about it.
I mean, that's I'm sure the way they're thinking about it.
Before we get into all the Summer Summit things, though, they do have a poll blog open now, and all this is gonna be done on Friday, probably before you guys listen to this, honestly. So hopefully you already saw it, but included on the sale, or including on the poll blog is sailing.
Yes.
We're not gonna read the whole blog for sailing because the poll will already be done,
Yeah, by the time you
and it's
hear
not
it, it
new.
won't matter.
It's not new information, but we will read like their little summary on this page about what they said about it.
Yeah. So they go on to say that sailing is a new open world utility skill that lets you experience exciting new content only found at sea. It's non-instance, traditional MMO exploration at its finest, with an old school RuneScape twist. Expand the vast world of Gilnor with new islands, creatures, and mysteries to uncover.
Flupa.
Flupa, for
Wait, do you
example.
remember the other day when I said fupa on accident?
Yeah, exactly. Build and customize your own ship with upgrades and facilities that will let you explore even more dangerous areas of the ocean. You've seen ships in old school before, but for the first time, sailing will let you captain a ship of your very own, command your NPC crew, and sail into uncharted waters. Sailing could launch as early as 2024.
Yeah, as
Okay.
late as 2030.
But to make that happen, we need you to cast your vote. And if it's later than 2024, then it's your fault.
Oh my god.
In this blog, we'll summarize everything you need to know. But like we said, we're not going to summarize it because,
Yeah, we're only summarizing sailing. The other ones I actually want to get into because they're all new and interesting.
yeah, everyone should, by this point in time, know about sailing. That being said, there's something that people should be made aware of. Sailing does have many videos that people have likely not seen.
I haven't even seen a lot of them.
Over on the old school YouTube channel. I'd highly
seen a lot,
recommend
yeah.
checking them out. There's new ones since their old ones were released that a lot of people haven't seen.
Oh yeah, I haven't really seen any, so I need to go check that out.
Yeah, there's a lot that even if you are caught up, might not have seen.
Yeah.
So I'd recommend checking those out. If you are on the fence, it seems like they're fairly excited about sailing and that they put a lot of work into it. So
Wait, do want to say about the sailing. It's like the 6th question on the poll, and some people, we know, someone I know listens to this thinks that they are being sneaky by putting it in the middle, or like
Yeah.
that is like rigged, and I'm just okay. My hot take is don't just blindly answer questions. Read through them.
that is a hot
so you
take.
can't really be mad that they put in the middle of it because like I always read all the questions.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
So question.
I don't like defending big companies often, so I feel like cheesy for it. But I don't think it's like being shady.
Question of the podcast: do you think
Sailing was rigged.
all of the polls ever are rigged?
I saw, I won't say who it was, someone, you know who you are, was like, yeah, they changed like the probably you're probably gonna send me a message about this, like calling me out because I got something wrong. So bear with me. But saying something like how the voting threshold was changed just so they could push sailing through no matter what. But
Yeah,
like it won by
it was.
80%. So
No,
I don't know.
you liar.
But anyway, moving on. There's actually a membership promotion right now. If you guys want to buy membership, it's on sale. 10% off Premier membership for the next 48 hours. It's done.
Yeah, I
It's
was like,
done.
I don't know why you mentioned this.
It's
This
done.
was done
I
several
didn't know
days
it was
ago.
temporary.
I was like, this was many days
No way the
ago.
picture says 48 hours only, and I did not see that.
Yeah, anyways, they had a 10% off the Premier membership. Either way, I guess it's a good thing to alert people on.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't buy RuneScape 12 months at a time, you're paying more than likely double the price per month on your membership,
You don't pay $200 a month?
because every month it's like $13, right?
Something like that. And then 60 for a year.
It's 60 for a year. So it's literally half the price.
Oh, yeah. So if you think you're going to be here for at least 6 months, just do a year. If you can, but obviously,
Yeah,
some people
so
can't afford to make the
yeah,
payment.
exactly. So obviously it's a little bit more money, but if you plan on
Yeah.
playing, like she said, for 6 months, that'll more than cover the amount that you'll actually be
Yeah.
playing.
Like
So
you did the 1 year membership on your hardcore as soon as you made it, huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, I plan on,
Especially the way you play is so sporadic that
yeah,
it's better that way.
exactly. Even if I take months off, it'll still be
Yeah.
worth it,
If you pay
because
once every 6 times in a year, then it'll be worth it, I
yeah.
guess, for you.
So yeah, I guess that's a
I've
kind of
been
a,
bonding mine.
it's no longer 10% off, which was, I mean, only $6,
Sorry
but
for lying.
it is still fairly cheap for the full year if
Mhm.
you take other things into consideration.
Yes. Moving on.
Besides that, though, we can move on to
Varlamore.
Varlamore.
Was that Varlamore is the first thing? Okay, yeah. We have they go over the summary, but we'll just go and read the actual news post on it. So, south of Mount Quidamortem, beyond the strangle.
Goedemorgen.
It sounds Dutch, doesn't it? Goedemorgen.
Yeah.
South of Mount Quidamortem, beyond the Stranglewood, lies a land filled with adventure and excitement. A region filled with new quests, new gameplay, and new places to explore. A shining kingdom formed by refugees fleeing Zarek's age of strife over 1,000 years ago.
They didn't really go very far if you think about it.
I
They're like, they
run
fled.
across the
They
street.
fled forever down, literally south, just directly south.
Since the war against the disgraced Emperor Imafor came to a close 100 years ago, Varlamore has remained relatively isolated from their neighbors and the rest of Gilnor. Although this isolation has allowed the nation to rebuild and prosper, its current ruler, Queen Ziani Arkan, is ready to open their ports to a wider world. Will you be among the first outsiders to set foot in the Shining Kingdom?
What's the queen's name?
Why are you gonna have me say that again? Queen Ziani Arkan. Ziani? How would you pronounce it? There's a lot of Y's.
Ziani.
Ziani Arkan.
Anyways, we have a quick overview. Old School's next area expansion will take you to the Shining Kingdom of Varlamore and open up a new region south of Corendon Kebos. We're not just offering a new region jam-packed with delightful content, we're offering answers to some of Old School's biggest questions.
Cool.
Whether you're a lorehound, an avid PVMer, or a super skiller, Varlamore has something for you. So, as far as a Kingdom Divided goes, Varlamore will be a huge, highly anticipated area expansion, and we want to make sure you can make this newest part of the world feel alive and full of content from day one.
Speaking of a Kingdom Divided, Robert, I don't know if you actually did, but I think you made a video, or you were going to, about being like, are we getting a new continent whenever Kingdom Divided came out? Because they actually showed this queen
Oh,
for like
yeah.
a brief second.
Yeah.
Or like her followers. And we were both like, who is this?
I thought it was pretty obvious because they show her
Like with
for,
snakes.
For anyone that doesn't know, all these people are going to be the snake people almost certainly.
Mm-hmm. No, they are. I googled it.
Yeah, because they even show the queen during, like you said, Kingdom Divided. So.
But we all kind of forgot about it because that was years ago, and we're like, oh, okay, I guess they're just not going to do that.
Yeah, 100 years ago.
Anyway,
to make this happen, we're splitting Varlamore into a multi-part release that will span the whole of 2024. You'll be free to explore the parts of Varlamore we've already launched, while the Old School team work to open up the rest of the kingdom to intrepid explorers like yourself. Each area will come with a variety of key content pieces, so you'll have plenty to do from the moment you first step into the region. We'll keep you in the loop throughout and undertake community consultation so you'll know exactly what to expect. To start us off, we've got 4 major content beats to focus or to vote on in this very blog.
Reminder, if you're listening to this, you probably can't vote anymore, but you can check.
Yeah, you could try. Make sure to vote if this was a teaching lesson. So keep reading to learn what you can expect in the first batch of Varlamore content. But before we get to that, we have some acknowledgments to make.
I thought this was so cool. I did not know this. So back in 2016, a player known as Gentle Tractor created
The same person that's done all
a
of
lot
the
of their art lately for
yeah,
sailing,
all the
right?
visuals for sailing so
Yeah.
far.
Gentle Tractor created a redesign that instantly captured our imaginations. The keen-eyed among you will notice that the southernmost area of the map is called Varlamore. This was actually the very first time this name was used, and it's clearly resonated with the community. We loved it and chose to integrate Varlamore into the existing lore when we worked on the Kevos Lowlands expansion and the various current redesigns. As we move forward with this project, we won't just be working closely with the community at large, but also Gentle Tractor himself. For the last couple of months, we've been working together to draft the first official map of Varlamore. So without further ado, they have a picture of the map here. That's why Robert was going really close to the screen looking at
Yeah.
it. I didn't know that it was, I thought it was part of the RuneScape 3 lore. I didn't realize that this is like lore that they made up because of this person's dope map.
Yeah, so
That's
Gentle
so
Tractor,
cool.
I think I'm almost certain this is the same one that they made so many years ago. And it was a very upvoted post from what I recall. And they were
Yeah.
just saying like pretty much a lot of the lore like they mentioned. So I don't know why they don't just like hire Gentle Tractor
At
to an
this point,
extent.
they better be paying them.
No, this is all community raised because they're a small indie company. From the fortified
The higher ups are
walls.
like, yeah, tell them to give them like a bond or something.
Yeah. We'll give you a
They probably
year.
don't even know what bonds
We'll
are.
give you a year subscription. Don't worry. From the fortified walls of Civitas Illa Fortis to the vast Avium Savannah. From the sacred stones of Raelos's Rise to the sparkling waterways of Tempestus. Varlamore promises exploration, adventure, and discovery for all. In case it isn't clear, we'd like to extend a massive thanks to Gentle Tractor for all the amazing work he's done so far.
It's so cool.
So it does seem like this area is going to have a savanna, like they mentioned, with a very large Falador Varrock style city with
Mm-hmm.
a port and everything, as well as mountains, the Stranglewood in order to even get there, some
Whoa, it's
islands.
so big. I didn't realize how small Stranglewood was in comparison.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some islands as well, and looks like a large hunting area, which might even be the guild, as well as a
Ooh.
very large island to the south, which I don't even know what it would
I
be.
don't know any of this is, but I can't wait.
But yeah, either way, looks really cool. Looks very large. Like I said, not as big as Kebos, but it is very, very
It's up
large.
there.
Yeah. Think I would probably estimate more of like southern Karamja size.
That's fair. I was gonna say like part of Kromja,
Yeah, exactly.
but it's hard to tell not compared to other stuff.
Yes.
A new dawn. We'll start our journey into Valamore right here in the heart of the kingdom, and they're showing like the savannah area with the cool little city and stuff, and it looks so cool.
Yeah, they actually
See the
do
Hunters
have
Guild.
yeah, they do have the Hunters Guild marked as well as other parts including the Colosseum.
Eee, and a little oasis.
Yeah, and a little oasis.
So that's right. The first part of the Varlamore area expansion will explore the capital itself, Civitas Illa Fortis. This bustling city is a hub for trade, transport, and feats of bravery, as well as Queen Ziani. How did you say it? Ziani.
Queen Xianyi.
Ziani herself and her loyal culty guards. It's hard when they first
Tough. It's
introduce
tough.
names. Beyond the city's walls lies the Avium Savannah, a thriving landscape filled with creatures and critters you won't find anywhere else. Capybaras, please.
Cappies
Finally,
walking
capybaras,
around.
please. Just imagine a little cappy walk.
Cappy
They're so
walk.
cute. Our last stop is the ancient dwarven town of Camtorm, built deep into the stony face of Ralos' Rise. So if this sounds good, you can start voting. Just kidding, because it's probably already closed.
Yeah. Either way, hopefully you casted your vote. And question 1 is, should they even add this to the game?
I'm gonna go vote before I stream tonight because I definitely want this. I'm pretty sure everyone's voting yes, but just in case I want to.
Hopefully. It does look really cool. That said, there's still a lot to do in the green light stage, so it won't be giving you experience rates, rewards, or any real specific details until they get the go ahead.
Of course. Moving on to quests. Did you want to go over these?
Sure, they do have some quests. Like I said, they are planning on releasing 3. There's no better way to make an area feel alive than with a good old chunk of lore.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most common feedback points when we first launched Corinne was that players didn't really understand their place in the region because it didn't launch with really much at all. It was just a big area. In Varlamore, we're going to make sure that your first steps in the area provide you with a clear sense of purpose, new goals to set, and new stories to experience. Quests in Varlamore will give you ample opportunity to explore the region's history, mythos, and culture over the course of a new storyline that will conclude with the final part of the release. This won't be an epic multi-year quest line like the Elves or the Majorat, but a punchy introduction to the land of Varlamore and its people. Don't worry though, there's hundreds upon thousands of years of lore to get stuck into.
Hmm.
In the first release, you'll be able to get stuck into 2 quests.
Yeah, we kept saying 3.
It was supposed to be 3.
Sure.
One will arrive right before Varlamore is released and will give you a good reason to travel there. A second quest will continue the story as soon as you can access the city of Civitas Illas Fortis. The first quest will be novice level, and its main reward will simply be access to Varlamore.
Yeah.
The second will be an intermediate quest with appropriate rewards that will help you build a better understanding of the region's story.
Cool.
That's so funny that they just totally went back on their word
Did they say
immediately.
3?
Yeah, because during
You
the
kept saying
reason
3, and I was confused because I was like, I thought it was 2.
the reason I said 3 is because during the live stream, they're all like talking about how they wanted to release 2, maybe 3, and they're like,
Oh.
they're even asking the other mods, have we ever released a patch with 3 quests? And they're like, no.
And we never will.
And we never will because we're apparently going with 2 quests. The third one was supposed to be a quest line that is supposed to be like a
Is
like
this like Kingdom Divided? Like kind of going
no, it's supposed to be
or
like an
what is it?
area specific quest that's like supposed to tell the
Oh.
lore of the land or something like
Oh,
that.
okay.
And I think they still plan on having like 4 of those, but maybe not this time
Slower,
around.
probably.
Yeah.
Now that we've had some story time, are you ready for some violence?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Fortis Coliseum. On Varlamore's southeastern shore sits the crown jewel and capital city, Civitas Illa Fortis. The shining city has many claims to fame, but towering above them all is the city's defining feature, the Fortis Coliseum. In this grand arena, spectators gather from all over Varlamore to witness the strongest fighters in the region take on all manner of vicious beasts in an epic fight to the death. Legend claims that the blood spilled here sustains the sun god Raylos and prevents the world from being plunged into eternal darkness.
Yes, of course.
The epic arena is the setting for a new wave-based PvM minigame. Inspired by the Testicle Trials minigame first pitch as part of the 2022 April Game Jam, which, side note, it was the one that it was like all the guardians in the bottom of the mountain, you know, like those blue dudes?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like by Konar. They're
Yeah.
kind of talking about that. I remember mentioning it before. Anyway, the Fortis Coliseum will pit the bravest among you against an onslaught of increasingly complex waves of enemies. Those of you who own a fire cape should be able to get your feet wet in the early rounds, but as the waves progress, you can expect combinations of enemies that will test the skills of even the most seasoned combatants. So we're given like 5 hours before someone finishes it, probably.
Actually, I don't think so.
Think longer.
Mostly because they said specifically on the stream that this content is hopefully, I think Mod Arcane said this, hopefully going to sate the undying thirst of the extremely high level community.
I hope so. It's a little bit different. So, unlike other wave-based minigames, as the difficulty increases, so do the stakes. After each wave, you're actually given a choice. You can swallow your pride and leave with the loot that you've gone to before, or risk it all in the next battle, because you're here to put on a show after all. So, not quite even like Inferno, really. While previous offerings have had loads of waves, this time we want to deliver a shorter experience with a focus on replayability. We want the Fortis Coliseum to feel less like a one-and-done milestone and more like something you're excited to improve over time. Hopefully that's what they mean by the insatiating their thirst, because they keep going back.
Insatiating the yes.
Is that what you say?
Satiating.
Oh, insatiable is dog. Okay.
Yes.
They're making them really thirsty. Some randomizing of enemy spawn locations and even slight variations on the enemies you'll encounter ensure that there's plenty of variety, but there's something else that keeps the crowd screaming for more. You see, no 2 Coliseum runs will be the same. Between waves, you'll be asked to choose between a number of modifiers that will swing the odds against you and empower your opponents. If you plan to go all the way, you'll need to juggle the increasingly tricky waves and your chosen modifiers. You can expect to find yourself handsomely rewarded for your crowd-pleasing deeds. Higher waves offer greater loot with the opportunity to earn some unique rewards for especially impressive performances.
That's pretty
It
interesting.
is.
So I didn't plan on well, I didn't think that they were going to add roguelite mechanics to it. For anyone that doesn't know,
I don't.
roguelite mechanics are essentially a roguelite game is a
Mhm.
game where you play through it and no two runs are the same,
I like it.
ideally,
Yeah.
because you'll get different buffs and debuffs. So like potentially you can make it so that you'll deal more damage, but also maybe take more damage, for
Okay.
example, or you'll make enemies
It's
work in a unique
much
way.
like the prayer book before, like a trade-off, kinda.
A lot of times they can be
Mm.
trade-offs, or like maybe it's like you can do more range damage when you're not moving,
Yeah.
or something like that. So might not be like an entire drawback, but it might be a trade-off, or maybe you're picking range damage instead of melee damage. So stuff like that.
It's pretty cool.
So if it's that, then that could be really cool because this could have near endless like replayability.
That'd be really dope. They
Yeah.
they do say that higher waves offer greater loot, so you'll get the opportunity to earn some unique rewards for especially impressive performances. They don't have specifics in mind yet, though, so submit your suggestions to them as always if you have ideas for the loot.
Yeah. Even
Probably won't be too crazy.
in the second part of their, I imagine it is going to be pretty good because if it's for high level content, high level community
I was
content,
thinking a lot of things are really good. They'll probably have like, yeah, no, you're right,
I
you're
feel
right.
like there might be like one really good item.
Blue Infernal.
Oh yeah. Or maybe it'll be like an item that you can charge up and maybe like corrupt it or something. I don't know. Anyways, I would expect a pet from this, but they
100%.
don't mention it. They do mention in the second half of the question asking if you want the Coliseum to even exist, saying that this would be a wave-based minigame with a focus on decision making, risk versus reward, and high replayability. So that's nice to
I
see.
wonder if it's gonna be like people are going here to make money instead of raids.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So you don't have to do raids to have people do a bunch of content over and over.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked the Gauntlet a lot. So
Yeah,
if this
you were obsessed
is
with
anything
Gauntlet.
like that, like
Probably
I
harder.
I think that'd be really cool. I would kind of not I would want it to be like Gauntlet in that I don't really want to have to bring stuff.
I liked that about Gauntlet as well.
Not because one, it would save money, which I guess it would, but more because I don't want to know what to expect going into it.
Yeah,
And
it makes it more exciting.
Yeah, which I mean, I guess you would get that anyways, but I don't want to be like, oh, I didn't bring a pickaxe. I guess I'm just like,
Gotta go.
out of luck on this boss.
Yeah,
Like I want to be able to get everything there.
I agree with that.
Anyways, though, we have Perilous Moons. So I do not know what this is. They say for those of you hoping for a less intense introduction to Varlamore's ancient customs, we've got just the thing.
This is
Perilous Moon. What?
this is the third quest I think that you're talking about.
Oh, is it? Okay. Perilous Moons is an experienced quest that'll have you crawling through the dungeony depths of Camtorum, a dwarven town in the west of Civitas Illa Fortis. You'll explore a new dungeon and the mysteries that lurk within, revealing a new piece of PVM content aimed at mid-level players. So this is kind of part of their mid-level revamp, I'm
Yeah,
guessing. Deep in these dank depths dwell a bunch of deadly demi-bosses. Wow,
the alliteration.
quite the tongue twister. Defeat them, and you'll reemerge with some exciting new loot. If you couldn't tell, this content is heavily inspired by the classic Barrows Brothers, a mid-level combat staple.
Yep.
Unlike Barrows, however, your experience here will focus on discovery and exploration. We want to make you feel like you're progressing through the dungeon in a meaningful way, learning more about the area and Varlamore as a whole. Think of it as a mid-level ground between Barrows and the Forthos dungeon, combining the best bits of each into a well-rounded adventuring experience.
Also, it might not actually be the third quest you're talking
It's
about. I
not.
just said maybe.
Yeah, it's definitely not, but it is cool because I guess it is a good idea to have something in between Barrows and Forthos.
Yeah,
Forthos being Syracuse.
yeah, they whenever we talk about and it probably not until we record tomorrow's half, but we do talk a little about their mid-level PVM. And they actually have some other ideas than this, but this sounds like it's definitely contributing to it as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, it definitely seems like
But they do mention Syracuse in
a
it.
good thing because I think it would be a real step back if they added Varlamore and really only directed it towards high level content.
Yeah, you have to have a variety. They need to have a variety at most places, honestly.
Yeah, even if there's like really nothing for newer players, but if it's like medium and end game, that'd be nice. As long as it's not one or the
Only
other,
end game.
or
Yeah,
even if it was only medium, that would kind of suck as well. I like that there's multiple reasons for everyone to go there.
definitely.
Actually, a really good example is Mauritania, because they
Yeah.
have barrows as
Oh, and then they
well
also have
as
Tob.
top.
Sure, I kind of
So
forgot that Tob's in Mauritania.
yeah, exactly.
Next up is the Hunter Guild. The open plains of the Avium Savannah, breathtaking vistas, grand adventures, and wildlife you haven't seen anywhere else in Gilnor. Please, capybaras. Just beyond the capital's imposing walls lies the Hunter Guild, a hub for the world's foremost animal experts. Perhaps with a bit of time and hard work, you might count yourself among them. As guilds go, we think one of the standouts is the Farming Guild. We were talking about guilds last night because some people don't want the Hunter Guild, and they were like, some are so useless. But then the one everyone was saying is good is the Farming Guild.
Yeah,
It's the best guild. I use it all
it's
the time. It's not my only way to farm, but it like
yeah.
improves it.
There's really only what, like two good guilds.
That and the woodcutting.
Yeah.
Mining's okay.
Oh, yeah, the mining guild has a use. I mean, okay, if you take the amethyst out of the mining guild, then it's
MLM
pretty.
I consider be part of it.
No, 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 no. You
No,
can't
no,
just
no, 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 no,
consider.
no,
You
no, no, no.
can't just consider
The
it.
ranging guild.
Yeah, talk about useless.
I think they
Um,
just need to revamp the guilds.
yeah, I think they need to add meaning to all of the guilds, but yes, especially also the this guild.
Yes, I see a little spider on our curtain, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm trying not to look at it. Anyway, so the Farm Guild may not unlock a ton of new skilling methods, but does give you the opportunity to harness the skills you've already built. We'll be riffing on this same idea with the Hunter Guild, focusing on breathing new life into well-established but underutilized content from all over Gilnor. On top of that, there are a few surprises in the guild itself and the surrounding Avium Savannah. There are new locations for hunter creatures, both familiar and new ways to hunt them. You'll need at least 40 hunter to prove yourself to the guild, but there's plenty of rewards plenty of rewards on offer for even the most seasoned hunters as they approach true mastery of the skill. Here you'll find the amenities you expect from a guild, banks, hunter-specific stores, and a host of friendly NPCs to hang out with. These expert hunters have plenty of tricks up their sleeves, and they might even be able to teach you a thing or two. Over time, you'll gain XP, unlock new hunter methods, and unlock more of what the guild has to offer. We'll be taking inspiration from the recent Game Jam proposal, which we talked about a few months ago.
Yeah.
So we already have a handful of ideas concerning rewards and skill improvements. Should we get the green light, however, we'd like to hear even more ideas from the community.
Yeah, I'm definitely not mad about a hunter guild. Of all the skills, I think it needs it the least almost,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it'll be cool.
I think it'd be really cool. Some people didn't like it because they think that now you'll only go to the Hunters Guild for a hunter.
No
But
way.
if they're inspired by farming, I'm not concerned by that. Because, like I was saying, farming, I incorporate the guild into my dailies for farming, but it's not by any means. I don't only go there.
I highly doubt you'll want to go there over things like the private chin chomp or the private red chin area
Yeah.
or herbivore.
I think that they could have stuff similar to, like kind of like farming contracts. Like maybe do a little hunter contract a day.
Yeah, maybe
They need to have
hunter
something that's like
contract
time
or
gated so you don't spend all your time there, but you still do want to come back.
yeah, but then it kind of becomes like daily
That's
game.
true. Farming contracts can be a little bit daily.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
I hope they do add something unique, but I don't want it to be like, oh, this gives you 200K an hour. It is clearly the best one.
Yeah.
Like, I
I
mean,
just don't like there being one thing that anyone should have to do with
if it was
anything.
competitive, cool. Like
Yes.
if it gives you like 100K an hour, I'm like, all right, cool. That's pretty high, but it's not the highest.
It's not black chins.
No, it's not. I mean, that's not even red chins.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to go chinning.
At least I'm pretty sure. Double check me, but I think you can get a little bit more with a 5 box chin
Yeah.
setup.
If he's wrong, leave us a bad review on Apple.
Yeah,
Deserved.
exactly.
But yeah, I hope that I'm not even worried about it. I hope and I'm not worried that it's going to be fine. It's not going to replace anything.
Yeah, but that is it. We only had 5
Mhm.
questions for this little first part of Varlamore, but keep in mind there is going to be a lot more,
Mhm.
so don't get caught up in how many there were. And with that, your first look into Varlamore is done. Don't let the Stranglewood hit you on the way out. Bear in mind that we're only giving you the information you need to vote on the green light stage because there's not going to be any more to reveal because they don't know if you want it actually.
Yeah, I'm going to vote yes.
Should this content pass the poll, we'll go into greater detail about the pitches you've seen today and start thinking about other smaller bits. Finally, we want to stress that we've learned so much from our recent content releases, and we can't wait to apply these learnings to a proper area expansion. Like we said, there's really not been many,
Yeah.
mainly just Corinne. So,
I know, and
uh,
I didn't join the game till after friend.
yeah, so it'd be nice for us to see what it's like with their new and improved green light system.
Yeah.
Hopefully, everyone will be somewhat happy.
I'm happy just reading it.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll get into
You're right.
the rest of the update in just a second.
Yep.
And we're back.
Hello.
Yeah, we have a quick update.
Oh yeah, so last night I did the full night of Tom, and I got league guards.
Wow, that's like the worst one. Good job.
These were 10 mil, but it was a collection log slot, so I was excited. So I've
Yep.
gotten 2 purples within 24 KC there,
Nice.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah, better than
that.
nothing.
I know. I think I'm getting spooned, so I'll take it.
I
Not
mean,
with the best drops, though, with
No
collection
scythe
log.
yet, so.
With collection log. But anyway, we can move right on into leagues.
Anyways, yes, let's continue on into leagues. Trailblazer Reloaded. So this is leagues 4 for anyone that missed that. And Trailblazer's already been done. That was leagues 2 if you
The 2 or
didn't know that.
3?
It was 2.
Oh.
Because 3 we just had Shattered Relics.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Anyways, says you've been asking for leagues from the moment Leagues 3 Shattered Relics ended. And it's no secret which one has been your favorite so far. I'm guessing it was Trailblazer. So we've decided to resurrect the classic league with a fresh lick of paint. Get ready for Leagues 4 Trailblazer Reloaded.
Woo!
Trailblazer Reloaded is a temporary game mode where you'll start as a completely fresh account separate from your main account. Initially, you'll be area locked to Mistlin, where all your journey begins, not begins, just as before. You'll be able to unlock other areas after completing tasks and accumulating points, but choose wisely, as you can only unlock 3 additional regions. So that's kind of
scary.
Yeah, kind of a big deal. So you can only unlock 3. You can't have access to the whole map. There's no way to do that. So make sure to pick very carefully.
Yeah.
It's separated into things like Corinne and Mauritania.
I imagine I just want to unlock all the raid areas, but I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know what the good strats are for leagues.
Yeah, I did send Michelle. It's been going around over on the subreddit that you can actually find a list of all of the unlockables per region.
Did you send me that?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember even seeing that.
Yeah, I sent it to you. Either way, you can find it over on the subreddit somewhere. I'm sure if you look around, or just like probably Google it and you'll probably find it. But either way,
Probably read it
people
when I was half asleep.
this is from the previous league, so it should be still accurate. I mean, things don't really move
Probably.
per league when it's region locked like that. So yeah, I'd recommend checking it out if you are planning on participating and are interested in which items are locked to which regions. And also, like, kind of spoiler alert, Corinne has a lot of items. Corinne, as well
like a lot of
as
activities?
no, just a lot of like items locked to that region.
Oh, what do you mean by like items like I guess like T-Bow would be locked to that region.
Oh yeah, all of the raids items.
I didn't know which. I was trying to think like I was thinking content, not items, is why I was kinda
No,
confused.
like the Sarachnis items.
Oh,
Uh,
Corinne seems like a given. Then.
Hydra. So
Yeah,
there's a lot of things
everything.
locked to Corinne, and also the
Everything.
desert now being with DT1, DT2, as well as TOA. So a lot of items from those 2
Definitely.
regions. So like I said, look around. You can find those lists hanging around. Anyways, though, if you're wondering what's new, although we know you loved the OG Trailblazer, a lot has changed in Gilmore since 2020. Although we're approaching this league with an if it ain't broke, don't fix it attitude, we still want to make sure that Trailblazer Reloaded feels a little fresh and exciting.
Yeah, they just pretend to is not real.
Yeah. You want to tell them about the new areas?
Yeah, so you may recall that the original Trailblazer had a continent-sized gap in the map. This time around, nowhere is off limits, including the entirety of Corinne and Kebos. You'll be able to unlock everything this vast region has to offer, including early game staples like the Winter Tot, all the way up to Chambers of Zarek. I did not play in the last one, so I'm like wondering, was it all locked? Like all of Corinne?
I'm not
the way that
sure.
they said it like entirely made me think that maybe parts of it you could go to, but that was 3 years ago. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter
I
anymore.
actually don't know if Corinne
Neither of
was
us did it.
included
Yeah.
during that
It
time.
better be included. It will be actually. But of course, the Corinne and Kevos will come with their own suite of tasks to complete. You'll recognize a few staples from Twisted League, alongside a host of revamped, rebalanced, and even brand new tasks to give you plenty to do while exploring the continent. So, some new content. This might seem obvious, but just in case, we've added loads of new content since Leagues. If you plan to use the same strategy as last time, you may be in for a shock. So, they go ahead and give us some examples. I think that there's bragging about new content that they've added.
Yeah.
But we have like Kingdom Divided Enthralls, Hard Mode Top, Combat Achievements, Skilling mini games like Guardians of the Rift and Temporos, Nex, TOA, the Wilderness Boss Rework, Secrets of the North and Phantom Muspa, DT2, and all of the bosses that come with that, and even more.
Yeah, so make sure to think carefully if you play
I
this league and which you want to activate.
Because I was thinking, like, if you unlock Desert, you don't actually unlock the Duke, Vardorvis, Whisper, and Leviathan because they're not even there.
Well, where are they? How do you get to
They're
them?
in different parts all around.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, there you
So you
go.
can only unlock certain ones. I mean, I don't know that I necessarily want to unlock more, but it's just like you have to really think like, okay, where exactly is each one located? Not necessarily the quest.
Yeah, but you will have to unlock the desert to finish the quest.
Yes, I'm assuming so.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
So
already
you
one
have to
area.
unlock multiple areas.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anyone will want the ring that bad.
Yep.
Next is the Task and Relic revamp. Despite our dire warnings, some of you might still be planning to dig out the old paste bin and fast track your way to the highest relic tier. Well, think again. We're revamping Task and Relics from the ground up. We're taking our task list and checking it twice, removing some, rebalancing others, and adding some brand new ones so that earning points feels fresh. One thing hasn't changed. At certain point thresholds, you'll be able to unlock powerful relics that fundamentally change the way that you play. Shaky voice much? What was
Yeah.
that relic? This time, we're shelving some of the old relics and replacing them with new choices for existing relic tiers. Most exciting of all, we're also adding relic tier 7, so you can pack more power than ever before. We're keeping the exact nature of these uber powerful relics under wraps, but rest assured, they'll be well worth your while.
Oh, interesting,
Mm-hmm.
interesting. Speaking of rank thresholds,
Speaking of,
yes, they have the ranks for all of the different ranks.
ranks?
Yeah. Well, they have the names of them,
Oh,
and
okay.
what are hopefully they do, yeah, kind of describe what the actual tier requirements are going to be. It says it wouldn't be a league without a spot of healthy competition. In previous leagues, reward tiers ranging from bronze to dragon were split up based on which percentage of the players you were ranked
Yeah.
against. The top 1% were dragon tier, and the top 60 were steel, and so on. While the system helpfully encourages people to play regularly throughout the league, it can also mean logging in to find you've dropped a tier and spending the rest of your day frantically catching back up,
Which we related
which is
to.
exactly what happened in the
You go
last
to
league.
sleep and then you wake up and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, especially because the last league entailed exploring all of Gilnor. It was pretty easy to become overwhelmed.
Yeah. That's why I just became a skiller.
Yeah.
I just hung out on Catherine for a while.
In Trailblazer Reloaded, we'll be experimenting with static rank thresholds to cut down on the frustration of never knowing if you're performing well enough. You'll be able to see exactly how many points you need to advance to the next rank, so you shouldn't feel obligated to log in and fight for a reward you've already obtained, so the reward being your rank.
Yeah, I like this way more.
I agree.
It's
I
way
think this is
better.
one of the main things that we saw or we heard on the stream and thought was a really good idea.
Yeah, I especially like I heard last time that there was people who were like really struggling last second and like almost got dragon but not quite, and I'm like that just seems so frustrating. So I like this a lot more.
Yeah, and if anyone's confused, they said they'll have a clearer sense of what these point thresholds will look like once they're done balancing all the tasks. But as before, we want all the areas to feel roughly equivalent in terms of points so that players don't feel obligated to choose the quote
Yeah.
unquote best ones. Again, we're learning from Trailblazer's previous outing and trying to ensure that no region is better or worse than other options. Obviously, they want you to forge your own path. So.
Yeah, no one wants to be like you have to unlock this one otherwise you're not going to get to dragon.
Yeah,
Like that
exactly.
sucks.
So they want you to be able to choose anything you want.
Yeah, I like that. There are some rules, though. As with any league, Trailblazer Reloaded has its own rule set that fundamentally changes the game. These rules will look familiar to any of those who played the original Trailblazer, but we'll repeat them here to make sure everyone's on the same page. So, area locks. Your character will begin your journey with only Misthalin, and Karamja unlocked.
Okay.
More areas can be unlocked by completing a fixed number of tasks. Note that the number of points provided by the tasks do not matter, only the number of tasks, which is kind of interesting. So these unlockable areas are the Wilderness, Fermi Isles, Asgarnia, Moritania, Caridian Desert, Kandarin, Tirnwyn, and Corinne and Kebos. I actually have no idea what I'm going to unlock.
Yeah,
I kind of
I
you
don't
forget
know.
about areas until you say it all listed.
I don't know. I probably would choose like Corinne at least.
Corinne seems like a good one. You can unlock 3, you said?
Yeah, so I don't know if I would choose like Mauritania and the desert. I mean, they would be pretty good areas. I probably wouldn't choose the wilderness, so that's easy. Probably
Would
not
you
the
want
Fremnik
Gauntlet?
Isles.
Tirnwyn?
Tyrannwyn for the gauntlet.
Gauntlet's good, and they have Volcano.
And they have thieving, and like
Thieving.
all the crystal stuff. But I
It's
don't
a hard. It's gonna be a
know.
hard choice.
I feel like there's so much stuff in Mauritania. I feel like I have to
That's
choose
true. I was
Mauritania.
thinking about blood shards because you said thieving, and I was like, oh yeah, that's also Mauritania.
Yeah, blood
Eh.
shards, the like Slayer areas, as well as like the mini games,
And Shades of Morton.
barrows,
True,
So
that'll be kind of busted in the beginning.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. So I
True.
don't know. Definitely some strategies to review.
Oh yes. You'll only be able to respawn in areas you've already unlocked, of course. Death's Office, the Player Owned House, random events, and the Essence Mines will be accessible from all areas. Slayer tasks will be limited to creatures found in the areas you have unlocked, and Treasure Trail steps will be limited to areas you have unlocked. They're making it easy. Easy escape.
Easy skate for sure.
Iron mode with accelerated XP rates. So everyone is going to play as an iron character, meaning that there's no trading between players.
Yeah, so this is what I was thinking of
Yeah.
when I was talking about
Deadman.
Deadman.
Yeah, I got them confused. To accommodate the increased number of iron players, shops will fully restock whenever they are opened, which is huge. I like how
Yep.
they say whenever they're open, like the shops never close. It's a really
Yeah,
weird way of wording that.
whenever you go to trade them.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not Animal Crossing, they don't close.
Yeah.
Everybody will start with a 5 times accelerated XP rate, and this multiplier will increase further at specific relic tiers. The XP goes hard in leagues, bro. It's
Yeah.
hard not to be a skiller because the XP rates get so good.
Yeah, they are pretty good.
Yeah.
Like multiple times better usually.
Yeah. Some starting stats. Your fresh iron character will have the basic stats being level 3 herbivore, level 10 agility, and level 5 rune crafting.
So you can skip those pesky quests.
Yeah, I guess.
For agility and rune crafting.
Yeah, even though you would have that area unlocked. It's kind of strange.
Yeah. Oh, would you?
You would for rune crafting at least. It's just oh no, you have to go to Varrock as part of Rune Mysteries.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if you would.
True. And then you have to go to Taverley area, so Asgarnia. Okay, no, you're right. So the starting stats will let you access the Draenor Rooftop Agility, as well as low-level Herbivore and Runecraft training methods. You'll also get a free Drummond staff to be claimed from the League Tutor, which will allow you to access Daenerys. There's also some quest or diary tasks that require access to accessible areas, and these will be automatically unlocked, most notably being Druidic Ritual to unlock Herbivore and Lost City to unlock Daenerys, of course.
Yep, and we do have some tasks. They do give us a little sneak peek.
Mm-hmm.
They say tasks are collections of goals and achievements for you to complete during the league. They span activities like skilling, obtaining drops, killing creatures, and completing quests, even in minigames.
Yeah.
Completing a task will get you league points, which you can use to unlock relics and other rewards. The more difficult the task, the more points you'll get. If you've played past leagues, this is pretty typical.
Dude, some of them are like, go pick flax.
Yeah, this is like, literally.
It was so easy to get stuck in Catherby.
Some of them are do the league's tutorial, get to
Open
level
the
5,
menu.
get to level 10. Yeah, so
It's really fun at first though. It's like whenever you start a new account, you don't need leveling up fast, but you're leveling up fast and getting points.
And then eventually, I'm sure it'll be something like kill
pet.
this boss 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Note that Trailblazer Reloaded, new regions are unlocked based on how many tasks you've completed, not the number of points you've earned. Obviously, some tasks in Trailblazer Reloaded will be area specific. Examples of area specific tasks include things like enter the cooking guild, defeat Obor, craft 50 water runes, and receive a Slayer task from Vanica. So yeah, make sure to keep that in mind. Like they said, they are planning on balancing it though, so it might not matter as much, but just remember to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Examples of general tasks which can be completed in any region include cook 100 sharks, get a mark of grace, equip a U short bow, and defeat a goblin.
I'm really excited.
Yeah.
You're saying this and I'm just smiling to myself because I'm like thinking about last week's how fun it was.
Again, every area will be roughly the same number of points, so just pick the one that you think is going to be the best for you, or you'll have the most fun in.
Yeah. Moving on to relics. Relics provide buffs which let you customize your gameplay experience. Unlocked via league points, relics can offer XP boost lost my place, buffs to combat, additional luck while obtaining drops, or even specific skilling buffs. When you begin the league, you'll be asked to choose between 3 tier 1 relics. As you gain more points, you can unlock other relics and solidify your strategy further. For the first time ever, in Trailblazer Reloaded, each relic tier will also unlock a passive buff. In addition, there will be one more tier than usual for a total of 7 relic tiers.
Wow.
Yeah. We'll provide more information about relics as we approach the start date of Leagues 4, but keep your eyes peeled for a few sneak peeks. Remember, some are staying the same, some are changing, and some are brand new, which they've said like 5 times.
Yes, in case you were
They
wondering.
really want you guys to know that.
And a lot of people are wondering why they might be wanting to play leagues besides the fun of it. Well, there are some rewards.
I was wondering where your segue was going.
So, Trailblazer Reloaded League trophy. So this is going to be the exact same trophies, I'm pretty sure, as every other league. So
Yeah.
depending on the rank that you get in the league, you'll get a trophy.
I really want the dragon one.
You can put it in your house.
I just have like an adamant one. I don't even think I have adamant. I think I have mithril.
It's kind of embarrassing.
Oh my god, I'm pretty sure mine's mithril.
Yeah,
well,
so
I want to do better
anyways,
this time.
you can get from bronze all the way up to dragon trophies and flex it by putting it somewhere in your house that everyone can see when they don't come over.
People want to come hang out with my house all the
Yeah,
time.
probably not. And we also have league to league rewards.
Mhm.
Also returning from previous leagues are league to league rewards. As the name suggests, these goodies will let those of you who participated in Shattered Relics see your rewards again. So this is kind of something they do from time to time, and it's really just a flex to show that you've been in the last leagues.
Yeah.
So this one is going to fit broadly 3 different categories, that being pets, right-click options, and armor sets. So really nothing important.
I wonder who has the most pets from all the leagues.
Me, I have all of them. Anyways, depending on how lucky you are, you may be familiar with pets from the main game. These cute and cuddly critters will follow you to the end of the world. And
they really
in
tell
leagues,
us what pets are.
they'll even follow you beyond. When you insure a pet during a league, it'll automatically carry over to the next league. If you lose them in any circumstance, you can reclaim them from the league tutor. Note that carrying over a pet from the previous league will not complete any pet-specific tasks.
So there are pet-specific tasks.
No sneakiness.
Yeah.
Right-click icons are automatically obtained and will show everyone who right-clicks you how well you performed in the previous league.
I don't necessarily want that with my mithril.
Yeah, they're like, ooh, bronze.
Yeah, I'm like catching that off.
Armor sets are also based on how well you performed in the previous league. When you begin, you'll get a basic set of starter armor and a weapon with variable stats that can assist in early gameplay. Don't worry if you lagged behind. Armor sets rewards only go up to mithril, so you'll be able to catch up in no time.
Cool.
Since these rewards only affect league worlds, we won't be pulling them. Now let's move on to the main event.
Yeah, this is what I'm really excited for.
Literally the main event.
Yeah, main game rewards. As usual, you will take a few league souvenirs back to the main game. After the league ends, you'll be able to spend your league points, and it's in the main game league reward store. These rewards are purely cosmetic, and unless otherwise stated, they are tradable as well. So if you have points left over from previous leagues, you'll also be able to purchase previous leagues rewards from the shop. We'll talk more about the rewards we'd like to offer and pull them properly at a later date, but here's a taste at what you can expect. The usual league-specific banner, home telly animation scroll, and outfit with a matching cane. A fiery new teleport animation override. And I'm actually still using the animation from the last leagues because I really like it.
Yeah, that's the one that
you're sitting on the
set down the
stones.
stones and teleport back.
Yeah, spirits like grab you.
Yeah.
It's cool. A new death respawn animation. A new alchemy spell animation. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's actually really useful.
Yeah.
Not useful, but
it's
used a
just
lot.
cool.
Yeah.
A new venge spell animation. I use vengeance a lot.
Yeah, this one's going to be cool.
A cosmetic override for the toxic blowpipe.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's not going to be just a recolor. That'll be like kind of like the canon and they change it a little bit.
Yeah, I hope it kind of goes with the theme of the mutagens, because the mutagens are kind of iconic, so if it clashes heavily with them, that kind of would suck.
That's why I was thinking it wouldn't be just a recolor, because that would be too similar to the mutagens. I was kind of thinking like it could go, I don't know, because the cannons, they like change how the cannons look, low-key.
Yeah. I just don't want it to look like a different art style than the mutagens.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I'm excited to see their ideas for it.
Yeah.
A new look for the rejuvenation pool inside your player-owned house. And this one is really cool. I don't know if you looked at it. A new infernal cosmetic override for Din's Bulwark, which was inspired by a player's suggestion from a year ago.
Yeah,
Look how
it
cool
just
it
looks
is.
like for anyone that is not familiar with Inferno,
It looks like one of the
at the very
shields.
end, whenever you're fighting Zuck, you actually have a shield that protects you, and that could be the same shield that protects you, being the Infernal Bulwark.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that so
Again, this is
much.
strictly cosmetic.
Yes. And these are all just ideas.
And it is not an exhaustive list, so there may be more or even less than these things.
Yeah. Since these cosmetics will appear in the main game, you'll get the opportunity to vote on whether you'd like to see them or not. As always, we are keen to hear any suggestions the community has regarding rewards, so feel free to show up your ideas in all the usual channels. But that is it. That is our first look at leagues for Trailblazer Reloaded. I am really excited. What did you think about it?
Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. I kind of just wish they did it earlier. Everyone was joking like
Yeah.
for like pretty much the whole year, like why don't you just, because it was clear at some point they weren't bringing us leagues.
I'm
And
surprised we're gonna get it this year.
um
Well, they said winter.
a lot of people were like, if you're not going to bring us a new league, just bring us an old league. And
Yeah.
it took them a lot longer than I had hoped for.
I'm happy and I'm excited, but I do think it's kind of funny because we're like, well, if you're not gonna, yeah, like you said, if you're not gonna do a new one, just bring back the old one.
Yeah.
And we waited this long, so it's like, oh, we assume we're getting a new one. And it's like, nope, we waited this long and then bring back an old one.
Yeah, not to,
I mean, they are,
sound
yeah,
ungrateful,
they are
but
revitalizing it, but it is kind of funny though that it's
yeah.
the same one.
It's the same thing, just slightly different.
Yeah,
So
hopefully it's very cool and up to date though.
yeah, I don't think a lot of people will mind this. Just
Hmm.
try not to go like so many months in between next time. I think I mean, it was over a year, right?
I think it was January last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been almost 2 years.
Yeah, I was like, it's definitely over a year. So
That's
if you
crazy.
could just work on that.
Please.
Speaking of stuff that they are working on, we have the Chambers of Zarek changes and Path of Glofrey. So these
And
are
more.
the things that came from the Summer Summit.
Yeah,
So
the
if you're
smaller things.
wondering what they are, we have a quick little preview of what they are
Hmm.
going to be. First, starting off with the Path of Glofrey. Anyone that doesn't know who that is should do some more quests.
Yeah, seriously, go check out the Gnome Stronghold.
Originally,
They need your help.
Originally released in late 2007, the Path of Glofrey continues the popular gnome storyline. Investigations into Glofrey's plants escalate when you discover that King Bolrin has a new pet.
The fluffy, cute ones.
I don't know.
No, remember they even have a picture.
Oh, yeah, little
If
bunnies.
you guys remember
Okay.
the Tree Gnome Stronghold before you do all these quests, there's cute little fluffy bunnies running all around. They're literally called cute creatures.
Oh, okay. I totally forgot about that.
They were evil.
Has Glofrey been watching the Tree Gnome Village too? Despite launching after Old School's backup, we were surprised to find that a mostly complete version of Path of Glofrey survives. This year, we hope to share it with you once more. Much of the quest will be released as it once was, with some polish to meet the standards of modern OSRS. Originally, completing the Path of Glofrey granted access to 2 new Slayer creatures found in the Poison Waste dungeon: Warped Terror Birds and Warped Tortoises.
I want to see some crazy tortoises running around.
Yeah, this didn't really feel very rewarding in 2007. We didn't think that a simple backport of these creatures would fit. So, to make the new Slayer creatures feel more rewarding, we hope to make some improvements, including rebalanced stats, drop tables, and some quality of life changes. Rather than needing to use a crystal chime on them in a fight, you simply need to use the chime in your inventory. It's kind of how,
The
having salt
hammer.
in your inventory, the hammer,
Oh, for
stuff
the
like
lizard
that.
and gargoyle.
Yeah, exactly. So the chime will be made using a separate crystal seed rather than using the same as the crystal saw. This means you won't need to swap back and forth between the chime and the saw.
God, that's annoying.
Yeah, crazy. The creatures will also share a single warped creature task, so you won't need a task for each of them, just one for both.
You get your choice.
The Slayer task isn't unlocked by default, so it will not impact current Slayer metas. You can choose to unlock it whether you want to or not with some Slayer points.
Cool.
And new unique item drops from both creatures. You have a chance to get a mid-level self-powered staff called the Warped Scepter.
Yeah.
So new self-powered staff. Pretty interesting. Yeah, they do say that they hope to put the Warped Scepter somewhere in power between a Trident of the Seas and Ivan's Blast.
That's a nice place before anyone could go to Underground Pass.
Yeah, definitely med level. So hopefully it'll kind of fill us that small gap.
Mhm.
We're looking to fill the small gap with the meta, okay? But since the quest is aimed at mid-level players, we won't be looking to power creep any rewards beyond a mid-level range. And also, this is obviously going to get pulled as part of the green light for the Path of Glofrey, so
Yeah.
don't worry about that.
It's kind of weird though. If you vote no that you don't want the staff, you also have to vote no on the quest.
Yeah.
Kind Kind of strange that they bunched them together. But again, this poll will probably be closed by the time you're listening, unless you listen to it right as it comes out.
Yes. So this is part of the poll. It is question number 7.
Mm-hmm.
And they do have a bit of a spoiler warning. I'm going to go over the requirements
Yeah.
for the quest if anyone is interested. You are going to need to have completed the Eyes of Glofrey, Waterfall Quest, and the Tree Gnome Village. So actually not that high of a requirement.
No.
With 60 strength, 56 slayer, 56 thieving, 47 range, and 45 agility, which are actually decently high. And the rewards are actually fairly well proportionate, giving you access to the Poison Waste Dungeon, 2 quest points, 30,000 strength, 20,000 slayer, 5,000 thieving and magic. So
I was looking at these and I was like, all the XP, and I was like, oh, and I saw the thieving and I was like, eh? Because the other ones I have 99.
Yeah, so a little bit of XP, pretty good, and that is poll number 7.
Yeah. Next up, they talk about some more mid-level PVM, and this one being related to bossing. So, from something we've seen before to something brand new, and actually something without much detail to share at this stage. Something we like to greenlight nevertheless. So let's talk mid-level PVM. We've been thinking a lot lately about the player journey. The steps people take from their first steps in Misthalin all the way to the lofty accomplishments like Max Cape, Infernal, or Grandmaster combat achievements. We believe that there are some gaps and break in this journey for many players. We also believe we could fill them in.
Yeah, I was like, to
Yeah.
think that those are accomplishments that regular players achieve.
Yeah, I mean, they did call it lofty.
Actually, all 3 of those are just so impossibly high achievements.
The Grandmaster combat, especially. Oh my god. At the moment, there's a bit of a jump for players moving from simpler activities like Briofeed and Obor to much more complicated content like the Fight Caves, Grandmaster Quest bosses, or even entry mode raids. We want to find a midpoint between the two. This is something we've tried to do already with Sarachnis, which gets players practicing some aspects of prayer switching, controlling additional enemies and movement. However, the boss's place in a player's progression isn't necessarily clear. I didn't hear about Sarachnis for a very long time.
Yeah, I was already a full-grown man by the time I knew about Sarachnis.
I was retired.
Yeah, so one, she doesn't, or it doesn't give good loot, in my opinion. And
the cudgels, I mean, I feel like it'd be nice mid-level if maybe like there's a quest to introduce it. You need like a quest or something.
The thing I hate about this game sometimes,
some bosses you just don't know exist.
No, is that a lot of the bosses drop what would at the time be best in slot to fight them.
Yes.
It is so annoying. Like the cudgel is good against Sarachnis.
Yeah, so if you go dry on it by the time you get it,
Yeah, but like why wouldn't it make more sense if a mace dropped from Barrows and you're like, all right, cool, now I got this mace, I'm gonna go.
Oh, so it's more of a progression.
Sarachnis.
Yeah.
And then Sarachnis drops, whatever, but you get it. Like stuff to make it so you're incentivized to fight other things.
Yeah, it is kind of funny that you like get all these drops and then you're just like, all right, well now I'm locked here because I got this drop that'll make it easy.
You're all like, oh,
me
cool.
With my shadow and TOA.
Like if you're going to Nightmare, you're like, all right, cool. So it takes on average, I think like 3,000 kills to complete this boss. Luckily, all the best in slot crush gear comes from Nightmare.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense, but also it's like weird.
Yeah,
kind of weird.
It's like, all right, now that you beat the boss, you can beat it again.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We want to develop an encounter that serves to give old school's budding brawlers confidence to get to grips with PVM and experience more of what the game has to offer. Exactly what this encounter might look like and what rewards it might provide are still being decided, and we'll need your help, of course. However, our initial thoughts are making this encounter feel like a viable alternative to Nightmare Zone or various crabs when it comes to earning combat XP and progressing your account. It's not a whole lot to go off of, but hopefully you get the gist of what we're aiming to do. So let us know if you're interested. And that was poll 8 if they should add some mid-level bosses.
Yeah, so should we add a new boss encounter aimed at bridging the gap between low and mid-level players? The exact details will be determined at a later date.
They could do the rats that they were talking about.
I think that last sentence really discredited this idea for me.
That sounds like crazy XP.
No, kind of. That they want it to be a viable alternative to NMZ and crabs.
So it's gonna be an AFK boss.
Yeah, it's like
we don't want an AFK.
Am I just gonna sit here and boss like while watching a show or something? Because that's what I do in Nightmare Zone.
True.
That's what everyone does.
I remember whenever I first found out about Nightmare Zone was like in 2020, whenever like we were on like COVID lockdown, and me and Robert would pull it open on our computers and then just go and like eat lunch and set timers on our phone for every 5 minutes to go and just like click another overload.
Yeah,
that was funny. So not that, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm all like, all right, cool. I made another account. Let me go to Crabs. I'll be back in 10 minutes whenever the timer resets, or 15
Yeah.
minutes, whatever it is. And so if that's how the boss is, I don't want this.
Yeah. I
Like,
hope that's not what they mean.
yeah,
Maybe
I
they just mean by
don't
XP
I
when it
don't
comes to earning combat XP and progressing your account.
I guess so. I mean, I could see the progressing your account thing, but also how are you going to get that much XP from a boss?
Yeah. They
Like,
made it weird by saying that sentence.
the boss actually has 30,000 health and doesn't really deal damage.
It just sits there.
So if you can kill it once per day, then that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. That would suck, but that makes it kind of what they sound like they made it.
True.
Anyway, something more exciting in my opinion is going to be
Mhm.
Chambers of Xeric scouting and scaling.
That's very nice.
Although I do like the mid-level stuff,
He just
so
got nervous about the end there.
yeah, I will probably vote yes, but anyways, still more exciting. Chambers of Xeric, Old School's first ever raid, is nearly 7 years old. The
Happy
mark that
birthday.
it has left on Old School cannot be understated. It remains some of the most popular PVM in action, even after all these years. All those years of enjoyment and experience have given us ample time to figure out what we love about it and also what could stand to be improved a little. There's two topics we see time and time again: scouting and scaling.
Yep. It's kind of funny it
Very
took them 7 years to discuss this.
Yeah, very, very big topics when it comes to chambers, because it's actually a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of people, I think, will say that you actually spend more time scouting than you do actually doing the raid
If
once you
you're
get
trying to
used
get
to it.
specific raids, yeah.
Yeah. Unlike the Theater of Blood or Tombs of a Mascot, Chambers of Xeric doesn't have a fixed layout, excluding challenge mode.
You have
Yes,
to do
yes,
all of them in
yes.
challenge mode.
Instead, raid instances are generated upon entry, giving players a variety of unique encounter combinations. As such, it's unlikely that you'll run into the exact same route back to back, and it keeps things fresh and allows you to make meaningful choices. However, a system like this isn't without its downsides. Kind of like what I just said, you can
Yeah.
get rooms you either hate or want to end up dealing with, or just the ones you hate the least, or you just end up searching for that one in a million,
Speed run one.
speed run
There's
setup.
specific layouts for speed running, so it's like
Yeah.
people will pay people to go
Yeah, I
and
was about to
find them
say,
the
or you can take
layouts.
matters into your own hands and hire someone to scout for you.
Yeah, it sounds awful.
Anyways, that is one of the big, big drawbacks. We like to work towards a healthy middle ground that gives players a little more control over their scouted layouts, without totally removing the variety that gives the chambers so much other charm. So they say that we don't have a great deal of detail on exactly how this would work yet, but we do have a pretty clear sense of the things that we'd like to keep in mind going forward if this was greenlit.
Cool.
Tying in chosen layouts with raid completion, for example, completing a raid might reward players with a token. Alternatively, players could buy these tokens out Mount Quidamortem for
Include more
some
him.
for some amount of GP. Players could use a number of these tokens to customize a raid layout to some degree. That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
It's not clear at this stage exactly how much we'll be able to let players customize, but the initial idea is to include things like filtering out certain rooms or perhaps providing a handful of presets to choose from. These presets could encompass choices or common choices for learners, speedrunners, or high points.
I worry that there are some rooms that would just never be done again, depending on how they do it.
I mean, they're already not done
I do all the rooms
unless the players
now.
are really, really lazy.
Yeah.
We expect that some customizations you'd like to do, the higher the cost.
I feel like no one's gonna do the V's.
Some
Some of the
Some
bosses,
people like these.
I think they're fun. Vespula, Vasa, and Vanguards. Everyone, not everyone, of course, but like for me, when I was taught raids, everyone tells you don't go to the V's. And like, because it's too hard to
Yeah.
learn. They're actually not that hard, but I didn't learn them for hundreds of KC because that's the thing that everyone tells learners is don't learn the V's. So I'm scared that would mean just like no one would ever go to them again. Vasa's really fun.
Definitely something they need to take into account.
Yeah.
Ultimately, though, they want to make the costs associated, and the players aren't able to remove scouting in its entirety, since we feel it's important to us to incentivize learning all of the rooms and getting comfortable in a variety of layouts over time. But we also appreciate that giving players more agency and reducing some of the tedium involved in getting that perfect layout is important. Because, yeah, that can kind of suck.
For speedrunners, I'd imagine it's real bad.
Yeah. So we simply wanted to share some of our initial thoughts to get a jumping off point for further discussion. So poll number 9 is: should we develop a system to improve scouting favorable layouts at chambers?
Yes.
Yeah.
I say yes.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah. But perhaps scouting isn't an issue for you. Maybe you're already comfortable with everything the chambers can throw at you, and now you're looking to challenge yourself in exchange for improved rewards. If that sounds like you, let's talk about scaling. So, if you spend a lot of time in chambers, you might have heard other players throw out terms like 1 plus 1, 2 plus 3, 3 plus 6, or even mega scale. People would always say that in front of me, and I'm like, I literally don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, these terms refer to the number of players actively participating in the raid relative to the number of people in the raid. The stats of the monsters inside of chambers increases as group size increases, meaning that there are more points up for grabs, which skilled players can use to make the increase the number of points available overall without needing to share those points out.
Yeah, so just to easily break it down, essentially, if you have an extra 10 players in the raid and you end up soloing the raid with those players not really participating, then you have, I mean,
A
let's,
1 plus 10.
yeah, a 1 plus 10,
Yeah.
which is, I mean, let's pretend that's like 10 times higher chance of getting an item.
Yeah. We were talking about whenever we were talking about like having guests on the podcast, and we weren't sure if we'd have on like normal episodes or extra things, and I was like saying if it was an extra special thing, I was like maybe we'll just have like Bunebape +1, but then I was like, oh, if you don't do chambers you wouldn't really understand what I meant.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's generally the idea. You do this if you are a skilled player looking for more loot.
Yes, it has really good drop rates when you do
Very good
this.
drop rates, but obviously it is harder.
Yeah,
and takes longer.
I did one like +16. I think it was like 4 plus 16, and we had like a 30% chance of getting purple and did not get it.
Yeah, you can actually guarantee a purple drop by doing this if you are good enough.
Supposedly, you could get several drops. You could get 2 at a time, but almost sometimes take 30 minutes, and the one I did took 2 hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it will take more
You
time.
spend all your time at home.
Yep.
But anyway, while Point Scaling's initial intent was to make group raiding feel worthwhile, more and more players are making the raid more challenging in exchange for a better chance at unique rewards. We love to see players push themselves like this, but feel it could be made a little more approachable for a wide variety of players. So the main drawback at present is that in order to scale up a raid, you need to have a membership on a number of accounts, get them over to where the raid actually is, and make sure that they're in your raid instance when you start.
This isn't true, Jagex. You just pay a bunch of people to log in.
Well, if you don't know
for
anyone,
you pay the different chat channels to do this for you.
I've gone to one because someone was paying 100K for everyone that went and stood in the lobby, and I wasn't doing anything.
Yep.
So I was like, okay.
I mean, if you pay 5 mil and you get a Tebow, it'll be pretty worth it.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's actually, yeah, it's kind of annoying that you have to do that though. If you don't know anyone or don't know that
super
CC.
tedious. Yeah, you'll have to like
Even if
look
you know
up,
people, it's tedious. That took like 20 minutes set up to get all those people there.
Yeah, you'll have to like go into the Discord or the chat channel and be like,
hit up all your friends, be like, log in all your alts.
yeah, you're like, want to buy a scale raid,
Yeah.
20 people, log in. Like
It seems annoying.
Yeah, it's annoying. You'll, again, even though you're not really scouting, because that you'll also be doing that,
Mhm.
you also then have to wait an additional time to have people log in.
Yeah, exactly.
So kind of annoying.
Yeah. Understandably, upkeeping memberships on so many accounts, if you're doing it yourself, can prove costly. Whether you're playing a subscription or using endgame bonds, which puts it out of reach for many players who are skilled enough to complete scaled raids but don't have the resources to get started. To address this and improve the approachability of scaling as a mechanic, we'd like to give players the option to scale up a raid entirely by themselves. As with scouting changes, we don't have any specifics for a system ironed out. We'd had some initial conversations about whether or not scaling should be free or paid for, perhaps at the cost that scales up as the number of additional player increases. So question number 10 was if they should develop a system that allows players to set their own scales at chambers. But that is it for the quality of life chambers poll as part of the summer summits.
Yeah,
I love that one too. It's just such a pain getting people to do that.
yeah, I don't think the well, I mean, obviously this was just a random idea they had. I don't
Yeah.
think it makes sense for the price to go up the more scale you do, because
Well, if you do mega scale, technically it could be like a guaranteed purple after a certain point, you know?
even then it doesn't increase the price of the purple. If anything,
That's
purples
true.
are going to decrease in price after that.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it's not like you're like, oh, cool, I'll just scale up to 300%, so I'll get 3 drops. It's like, no, it's you still could just get a dins.
I wonder if people are worried that's gonna like lower the price of a Tebow by a lot.
Oh yeah, it will.
Yeah,
I
so
don't
I
know
can see
about-
people voting no for that reason.
I don't know about by a lot, but it definitely will.
Yeah, because people spend a lot of time scouting and scaling and stuff.
Yeah, so
More
that
raids
is-
done in general.
That is interesting, but that is gonna be it. That everything we have for this week as far as new updates and poll questions. So Make sure to vote on all 10 poll questions. It'll be over by the time you hear this probably, but
But maybe if you listen really, really soon.
yeah, but this is for future self. Always check if there is a poll
Cool.
at least once a week, if you actually care.
If you care.
Yeah. Anyways, we can move on to the Q&A for this week.
Okay. So our first question is going to be from Matt over on Instagram. We actually have questions from 2 different Matts. The other one's Matthew, so that's kind of cool.
Nice.
First one is from the usual Matt. They suggested like I think it was a quest or mini game last week. I can't remember which one, and said it was really long. And they said, "Love the way you read the whole question anyway."
True.
But by the way, this one is shorter. What would your thoughts be on expanding pitfalls to be applicable to PvP? Right now, as part of the hunter skill, you can make pitfalls to trap spined Luropias, horned Grax, and saber-toothed cats.
Yeah, these are all
It's really funny to say RuneScape animals out loud.
Yeah, these are all tiger type
They're like, rah, rah.
animals.
But what if this meant you could also trap Rob in the wilderness and incapacitate him for a little as your clan bombards him with magic and ranged attacks? Why are you shaking your head?
This
Are
already
you scared of getting
exists.
bombarded? Is this just what freezing is?
Yeah, this is just freezing.
The pitfall would take a certain amount of time to set up, during which you cannot defend yourself, so you have to be sure you have enough time to set it up before an enemy approaches. Then the pitfall is effective for as long as you are in visible range of it. It will trip.
This would suck.
If you just see someone standing there,
This
you're
would
like,
suck so bad, dude.
It will trap the other player for a certain time depending on the strength of the pitfall. The higher the hunter level, the stronger the trap. Bro, that would suck so bad.
Yeah, that would suck. I feel like there would be so many people just like setting up a trap, going to barely visible like range, and just sitting there waiting for someone to come out of like Venenatis and
I
fall into
feel
it.
like there would have to be rules. It could not be in multi-combat areas because that's just messed up. If an entire clan can start attacking while you're stuck in a pit.
Yeah.
I think that also maybe you can't freeze people while they're in it. Like you can get out, but people can't freeze you and trap you in there still.
Yeah. I mean, I don't
Like
know.
they're maging you, but you're able to get out.
There would have to be so many
There have to be some little rules. They can't be too busted.
like quote unquote PvP nuances, you
Yeah.
know, the ones that already exist that people don't know about, just like more of them.
Exactly.
I think it is funny.
I think it's hilarious.
But
But I don't know that I want it. I might be too scared of it.
I'd be like, all right, I'm really never going to the wilderness now.
I actually go to the wilderness kind of frequently. I went to Vedion the other day and it was great. 3 people killed up and killed me all together.
Killed up and
Killed
killed
up,
you.
killed up and killed me, bro.
Dude, they just killed up and killed and killed and killed.
They pulled up and killed me, and
Yeah.
I was just like, "This is a fair fight. This is fine."
Nice. I think I like the idea of something like that, like something sneaky like that, but maybe not so powerful.
Not so powerful to you. It's an instant death if you fall into a pitfall.
Yeah.
Can you imagine just like a bunch of landmines over there blow you up?
I know, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Landmines or minefields
should
are
have-
incredibly scary.
We should have those in RuneScape.
No. We actually have heat-seeking missiles in this new
Stop
patch.
it. Next up, we have a question from a different Matthew. So this person said that they started listening to the podcast a while ago and absolutely love it. Their question, they said, I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes when I go on money-making grinds in OSRS, I feel like I'm actually making money in real life.
Oh yeah.
We talked about this because I feel the same way.
Yeah.
There have been several occasions where I'll make a quick mill and then go buy something in real life because I feel like I have the extra money. Have you guys ever felt like this after hitting a drop or grinding out a boss for money? You first.
No, I've never felt like that in any game while like getting like a big drop or something like that.
Mhm.
Like I might, be happy and like joke with my friends that I'm like Bill Gates or something, but like I'm definitely aware that it's in game.
Yeah.
Like, and also
But
I
doesn't
always
ever like you don't ever get that feeling like
no, not even a little bit.
weird.
Yeah.
I totally
not even,
do.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
Even like even then I'll like usually humble myself and be like, there's definitely people that have like a bajillion gold. This is nothing.
Why think that? That's so negative.
I don't know.
For me, yes, I feel that. It's an issue. I'm very poor in real life, so sometimes like I'll get a good you're not. Sometimes I'll get a good drop in RuneScape and I'll be like, it's like I'll think that I just got gifted a bunch of subs on Twitch or something. I'll be like feeling really proud and successful of myself, and then I have to be like, wait, it's just like a virtual split on a little magic staff.
Yeah, you get all the pixels.
Yeah, I don't spend money on it, but like I have told my family about RuneScape drops before.
Yeah.
Whenever I picked up that Elysian on the ground, I remember telling my siblings, like a couple of them, and they were like, "Okay."
No one even
I don't know
knows
what
that
to do with
I
that
still play
knowledge.
video games. I don't. I just never bring it up.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
And you do it fairly often.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely feel that. I don't spend money, but I feel like because streaming's like my job now and stuff, I feel like I just did something good for my job whenever I get a good job, and I'm like, oh, this doesn't actually affect me in real life at all. It makes me happy though. So that's all that matters.
Yeah. At least that happens.
All right, our next question. Should we read Ivor's question? This one? I don't know if that's bad. I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine.
Ivor's hurt that we didn't read his question last week, by the way. I don't know if Robert saw, if anyone's in our Not Safe for Work or our podcast question channel, he posted like 3 paragraphs about how he wouldn't answer his
No, I answered it.
You did answer. Yeah, I said Rob answered me. That's all I wanted. But he was giving me grief because we keep the podcast safe for work. And the reason we do that is so people can listen while they're at work. Because at our old job, we used to just listen to podcasts like with speakers on. No one cared. And also sometimes my little brother listens. So
Well, yeah. Anyone younger might not want to.
they might want it, but we won't let them.
Yeah. Anyways, Ivor's first question is.
Well, that's a real life one.
Oh, you're gonna save that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Either
the
way,
second question.
Ivor's question is, does OSRS really need an item called Strange Fruit? It probably does not signify the same thing to some OSRS players as it does to others.
Kind of fricked up.
Yeah.
Is this supposed to be like homophobic?
I don't know. I assumed it was like drug related.
Oh, I thought that it was like because people used to say that in a homophobic way.
I don't know.
We're
I like
boomers.
mine. I like mine
Ivor,
more.
we literally don't even understand what you mean.
Yeah, I like mine way more.
And then Hariger also responded, yes, because Blood on the Leaves on Yeezus is one of the best hip hop songs ever. So I'm like extra confused now and have no idea what this means.
What the
I feel like I just had a stroke. We don't understand.
Also, I hate Kanye, so
Yeah, we're just like old people and don't understand what this even means.
like I try my best to separate the Graduation album from everything he's ever done, and like, oh, that was a different person that did that, so I
Yeah.
can still listen to it.
But not the newer ones.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but I do think Strange Fruit is weird. That
A weird drop.
I think it's weird that it exists, and also that it just randomly sprouts from the ground sometimes.
Yeah,
And also
like,
that you
it
can
doesn't even heal you. It just gives you like 10 run.
It gives you run. It's like a
That's it.
worse pineapple. Or is it the pineapple that gives you?
Pineapple doesn't give you run.
No, I'm thinking of the
Just papaya?
Yeah, it's the papaya.
Oh,
Papaya gives you run, energy, and health.
that's so funny.
Yeah, it's actually a really, really good item to get like early on from like
I didn't
the
even think about that. Yeah.
you can steal it from the fruit vendors.
True. You could get strange fruit from them too.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, actually cool.
Yeah.
I wish they would I wish you could just buy it.
You can sell it at the GE. Well, on
No,
an iron.
I mean on an iron. I wish you could just like buy it as an iron as like a really
Then they just buy hella and never make agility or stamina potions ever again.
well, I mean, obviously it'd be store limits, it'd be like 10.
Oh yeah.
But like to have like that available early would be kind of cool.
True. I hate running around.
Yeah.
Or walking around. Ugh. Next from Hariger, the actual question from Hariger. I remember how fun it was as a kid to design shirts at the Able Sisters tailor shop in Animal Crossing.
Okay.
It is really fun. But I'm not a good designer. I like to get other people's. Anyway, you essentially would design a custom image which would be placed on your articles of clothing like shirts and hats. Do you think RuneScape could do this in the future?
Yeah, they already do.
Do they?
Yeah, they take all of people's designs and put them in the game.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. It could incorporate crafting, and the higher the crafting level, the more pixels you get for your design. You could apply your own designs to shirts, plate bodies, capes, etc. One major problem I could see with this is not safe for work images being printed.
I was about to say the same exact reason they removed sprays from Counter-Strike.
What was wrong with it?
You could use any image you wanted for sprays in Counter-Strike.
Nope, you can't trust people on the internet. Do not.
Anything you wanted.
Anything.
Anything.
Unfortunately, the custom design system might have to be limited to a catalog of pre-approved designs.
Yeah.
I don't think it would work.
Lamer. A lot lamer.
It wouldn't work because of that. Like
Yeah.
that people People are
Yeah,
disgusting.
sprays are still a thing in new Counter-Strike, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, but they're like you have to buy them or they're pre-approved or whatever, so they're like, oh, headshot or GG. No, back in the day in Counter-Strike 1.6 and Source, what you would do is you would like spray. Well, I mean, these are your teammates, so it's
Yeah.
not like really messing with them, but you'd spray something that a teenage boy might be super interested in seeing, and so they would just sit and spawn staring at it while the game went on.
Oh my
The
god.
good old days.
Yeah, I don't think so,
No, that would
unfortunately.
not work. I don't think
People
so.
are sickos.
Yeah.
Moving on to our next question. Ivor asked, "What is your dream lower back tattoo?" But using the sling.
Yes.
Robert requested that, Ivor. That was not me. Robert said we shouldn't say it.
Well, mostly because that's
It has a negative
yeah,
connotation.
yeah, that's not good. Either way, lower back tattoos, and Ivor said that theirs would be the OSRS bank pin. I'm guessing so you could look in the mirror and always know.
Yeah, well, security comes first.
Yes, obviously.
Honorable mention would be a U.S. yield sign.
Yield sign. Nice.
I'm gonna answer not as a joke. I would love to have a full back piece.
That is not a lower back tattoo.
It would go onto my lower back and my butt, I think.
Nope, that is
I want to be
not.
part of my butt.
No, it has
and
to be only lower back.
Well, then, like, cool flowers or something, and then I'll merge them with the rest of my back.
They're flowers.
Yeah.
All
And I'll
right.
merge them. Merge
There
up
would
my
have to
back.
be a clear delineation for this to be a lower back tattoo,
Why?
because that's
Well, what's yours?
I don't know. I mean, yield is a really good one. Um, I don't
Would you want
know.
a funny? Would you want a word, like a funny word, or a thing?
Oh, you know what I
I
would
feel like I'd
do?
have to get a thing, otherwise it would look like cheesy.
I would do. I don't. This reminded me of like a really funny picture from back in the day where it was just like a really messed up looking like sewer, and then above it said like free candy above it or something like that.
I have to see you without a shirt on. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see like toxic fumes coming up and saying free candy above your butt.
That's what it would be.
I said flowers.
Yeah,
Why? What's wrong with
because
you?
that'd be funny.
Oh my god. Yeah, I would just get like flowers or something. I wouldn't. I have enough like silly tattoos. I wouldn't want one like fully on my lower back.
Yeah.
Um,
And then Harger does have one last question.
Yeah, in real life question. It was related to the Able Designs one. What is your favorite article of clothing? I love beanies. In Australia, it gets quite cold.
Austria.
Austria.
Very different place. It does not get that cold in
Austria.
Australia.
It does, depending where it is. But anyway, it gets quite cold in the winter, and I like buying used ones for €1 to €3 and wearing new ones each week. I have a collection of like 50 now, but I don't drink, so that's the equivalent of beer money. True.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't drink, so we spend more money on snacks.
Yeah, I'm just broke either way.
Well, yeah, let me pretend, Robert. Let me brag.
Yeah, I actually really like beanies as well, but mine would be jackets.
You know what yours would be. You
No,
know what
I
yours would
don't.
be. Your Patagonia hat. Be
Oh,
for real,
no,
bro.
it says, oh, what's your favorite article of clothing? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess it would be my hat.
Actually, I don't know if that's your favorite, but he wears a
Yeah,
Patagonia
that's the
hat
one
all the
I
time.
wear the most.
What do
for
you
sure.
like the most, though, I guess?
Yeah,
Jackets?
exactly. The article of clothing I like the most by far is like almost any jacket I get.
Mm-hmm.
Usually
We have
whatever
some nice jackets.
whatever's the newest one.
Yeah.
The thing is though, is I'll get them and I'll sometimes spend a lot of money on jackets, like $100 or $200 on a jacket.
This has been years ago.
This
clearly.
is years ago. But and then I just like won't wear it that much.
Yeah, it
because
doesn't get that cold here.
I'm also abnormally hot usually.
Yeah. Did
Like,
you know that's why we want to move to Europe? Is so he can start wearing his jackets.
no, not at all. But that would be a positive, I guess. But yeah, I really like jackets. I like the way they look.
What's your favorite jacket? Do you have one?
I don't really
He has like a
have
blue one that's like very like dark blue. That's like varsity S. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean that's a bomber, but
I'm good at knowing jacket types.
a really funny story kind of related to this is like I've always liked jackets, and maybe because I've always liked them because I can't really wear them because I get too hot.
Yeah.
But this one time, this was a long time ago when I was like 15 or 16, I like bought I went to this leather store with my parents and bought a full leather jacket, and I wore it, I think, less than like 3
I would
times,
love to see you wearing this
and I
jacket.
never wore it again.
Just looking like.
Yeah.
Why just wearing full leather?
I have no
And knowing
idea.
how Robert looked as a teenager, it's even better.
Yeah, it was a full leather jacket. So that was the first and last time I ever made that mistake.
Fashion.
And that's slowly when I started to realize I should not buy jackets.
Yeah. That's whenever he went vegan. He was
Yeah.
like, this was not a look.
So that being said, I really only have one jacket that I wear nowadays, which is my
The Arc'teryx.
my Arc'teryx jacket.
Yeah.
That
He
being
has-
said,
You have a couple others, but yeah.
Arc'teryx does sell a jacket that I want, and it is $600. So
Yeah, it's a someday in our life goal to get that jacket.
yeah, to be fair,
Maybe
it
we buy
is.
a house.
It's like a rain snow jacket, so there's no real reason for me to own it, but I do like
I mean,
it.
we'll be moving somewhere that rains more eventually.
Yeah, still
Yeah.
probably won't buy it. Anyways, though, that would be mine. What about yours?
I like dresses. I don't wear them. It's like kind of the same as you. I don't wear them the most. What I actually wear the most is like black shirts. I've noticed now that I make shorts, especially, that I just wear a variation of a black crop top every single day. Just a different like.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, it works. It's great for stream because like you can only see barely lower than my shoulders and up. So, and whenever I wear dresses, you can't tell at all.
Yeah.
But I have like one dress that Robert got me for Christmas like years ago, and it's just like I think it's from like Urban Outfitters actually, and it has like it's just like black with like cute flowers on it, and I wear that all the time, and I love that dress.
I don't remember that dress at all.
I wore it like 2 days ago.
I'll
show you.
Okay.
You'll know what it is.
Sure. Sure.
But yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah, so that's going to be about it. That's going to wrap it up. So hopefully you all enjoyed it. And again, if you want to ask us any questions, feel free to do so. Instagram, Twitter, Discord would be the best place. Discord.gg/Bunebape with the questions section, or just anywhere really. Where can they find us and ask us things?
Yeah, our Twitter and TikTok are Bunebapeosrs. Our Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube.
We made it.
Are all Bunebape. I also forgot to mention that I'm sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. That one ended and a new sponsor emerges.
Raid
So
Shadow Legends.
I'll put that little thing in the episode description if anyone wants to get to level 12 or 25. But anyway, yeah, if you guys want to come stop by the stream, I'm live 5 days a week at twitch.tv/Bunebape. So come stop by and hang out with me.
Yep.
And I'll just be going through my wheel of content all week.
Yeah, so thanks again for listening. Hopefully you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you all
very soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.